it's really easy peasy to use. Happy Friday night and welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. I'm Deanna.
I'm Naomi.
And we're here in your she shed.
Yes.
This is your studio space. It is absolutely beautiful. This is where we are roosting tonight.
Yes.
Cheers, my dears.
Cheers.
Happy Friday, everybody. It is great to see you. Can you hear us okay? Let us know first, because we've got a good setup going here.
I think so. There's a little air conditioner going on, so there might be an extra noise in the back.
That's right. Let us know if you can hear the air conditioner going, because we'll probably move around during the show, and we'll be on the move. I'm working on something here. I have a bunch of questions for you. Let us know if you can hear that and if that's detracting.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Our mic and stuff is across the room there.
A little closer to the air conditioner than we are.
It is. Maybe we should have done it the other way around.
I know.
Dang it. Well, happy Friday night, everybody. It's great to see you. Welcome back. Huge cheers, my dears, to all of you out there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Naomi set up such a nice scene in here with the dry white wine. You have the crazy charcuterie board. Why aren't I here like for every live show? The service is great in here.
We aim to please.
It's absolutely beautiful in here. All right, let's see. I'm going to keep an eye on the end of it to see if anyone says, yes, I can hear the...
air conditioner, yeah, absolutely. We have a fan going. I mean, it's not like we're going to roast in here.
So she can hear it. Should we try without and see if we...
absolutely.
If we start to expire, you know who to call.
You'll know where we're at.
I thought you were going to say Ghostbusters.
I know. Sorry. I missed it. I missed that.
Oh, man. Well, it's fun to do. We're going to do kind of an impromptu show tonight, right? We're going to kind of wing it. You just brought out a box of goodness that we'll look at in a minute. Right? Super fun box that came in the mail of treasures.
I need to stay off eBay.
I think we all need to stay off eBay. There's such good stuff there.
There is.
Isn't there? I mean, I can't wait to see what you found. I brought some vintage stuff too. We're going to fool around. I want to see all the stuff that you're working on. You've got a date coming up that we need to know about.
Yes.
So we'll do all of our business stuff too.
Absolutely.
I'm working on a pattern. I want to brainstorm with you, but I haven't even had time today to tape it together. So we will look at it later. I will be madly taping. Right. This is my life.
That's
right?
the way to do it.
I brought this in a bag to come to your house.
Travel.
Man, I am. Yeah, it is. It's total seat of the pants. Melissa, great to see you. Good evening. So nice to be here on a beautiful sunny night, New Brunswick, Canada. Hooking while you watch. Fantastic.
Awesome.
That sounds perfect. Nature bound. Great to see you on the Cape. All knitting with a cup of tea and looking forward to whatever Dan has in store for the evening. Seat of the pants. Always a pleasure to be here. Kaz, it's great to see you. Happy cocktail night from rainy and cold Wisconsin. It dropped here too.
It
right?
did.
It's not a miserable day. Like it's been awful.
It has. I can't not have my windows open. I love my air conditioner, but I gotta have my windows open.
I know. It gets so gross and stuffy, with all the artificial air like choking its way into the house. It's really like breathing its cold to draft on you, and then you start to feel like icy and
clammy.
It is.
Clammy.
You get all totally clamped out, and everything gets like condensation because there's such a different temperature outside than inside. It's so gross. Oh man, it's gonna even out for us. Cheryl, great to see you also on the Cape. Cheers, my dears. Another perfect day. Oh, I bet it was gorgeous on the Cape today. She's on Cape Cod. She's in Falmouth.
Let me just tell you, don't faint. I have never been to the Cape. I have lived in Connecticut for 35, 36 years almost. Never been to the Cape.
It is a good thing I am so de-energized because I would overturn this table right now and we would just shoot out the door and take a road trip.
Yes, I'm ready.
It is so good.
The people I walk with or I walk around in the morning when I take Jackson out for his morning walk, there's 2 women that they have homes or condos on the Cape.
It is so good. And there's a great rug cooking store out there too that I'd love to go to.
White Cat.
White Cat. Yeah, yes. She does. I just shut off the phone. Sorry about that. She does. She's all recycled stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So like she cruises around the thrift stores and she washes stuff, cuts stuff up. weighs it by ounce.
Yep.
And so you can get something that's like this big, but it might be that might be all you need, right?
Right.
And she's got plaids and patterns and every color, and sometimes she overdyes, but it's all recycled stuff.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So people either hate it, right, because they're like,
Yeah.
"Where's my milled wool?"
Yeah.
Or they love it because they're like, "I needed this much of that
Right.
coral color, and you have it." And I spent $2,
Right.
and I got like 3 scraps that was exactly what I needed.
I think people forget that that's how it started.
I think so too. I think so too.
I think they forget.
It's so she's like got the she's got that thrifty spirit, you know what I mean, that's still going. She's a small business and she doesn't fool around with like we won't name names, but yeah, there's lots of struggles with wholesale accounts.
There is. The struggle is real.
The struggle is real. The game is always changing. There's always new fees.
And I hope it doesn't get more real. That's all I'm saying. I don't want it to be more real. Is that a good way to put it? I think
it's real enough. It's definitely real enough. All right. So Cheryl, Joy, great to see you. Cheers, my dears, from steamy Southwest Florida. Oh, I bet. April, great to see you. Happy cocktail night in Illinois. Linda B, cheers, my dears. You are in New Jersey. Looking forward to the visit tonight. No, it's great. We should be doing this on a regular basis.
I think so. I agree.
We're so close.
We are. And I could come to you if you do it in your studio, right?
Yeah. The studio is so trashed right now. I don't know if you could enter.
And then we'll do it here.
Yeah. I would have to beat a path like I was clearing like something in like, the rainforest for us to like go through to the it's bad. It's bad. But one of these days, I think I can do it. Let's see. Catherine, great to see you. Good evening. You're there with your Diet Coke. You are very good. You are very good. And it sounds very refreshing, too.
It does. It does.
Oh, I still love Diet Coke. Linda H., happy cocktail night from Massachusetts. Great to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you lately. Hope everything's good. Melanie, great to see you. Happy cocktail night from sunny Washington State.
Oh,
Gayla,
somewhere else I want to go.
I know, me too, right? Have you ever been?
No.
No, I haven't been either. That great coffee culture, right?
Yes, I don't even drink coffee and I want to go just because it seems very cool.
It does. Seattle seems like a fun city, right?
It does.
It seems like artsy and a bit hip, but not annoyingly hip,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see similar to Austin, Texas.
Haven't been there either.
I went there when I worked outside the home. And that was a very cool place. I walked all over. Yeah, it was very cool. Yeah, absolutely. Very artsy. Yeah. Good food.
Sounds great. I would love to get out there. All right, Gayla, great to see you. Drink. Great to see you. Cheers, Madeiras. I'll be there in just a few minutes. Happy Friday night. Ryan, great to see you. Ryan, let me know if you got your pattern in the mail. AC sounds fine. If we get really hot, we'll rethink it. Yeah. Great to see you, Ryan. Mom, you are logging on for cocktail night. Oh, great to see you. Hope to see you soon too. Love you in Granby, Connecticut. Olivia logging on in Ireland, so she is a super late bird. Oh no, you had a few Irish coffees. Okay, so that's good. So you've got some caffeine.
Absolutely.
You got at least some caffeine, if not some Baileys running through your veins. That sounds great. Celebrating your baby's 20th birthday. Fastest 20 years ever. What's the drinking age in Ireland? Is it like 18?
Is there a drinking age?
I don't know.
I lived in Germany for 4 years. There really wasn't a drinking age. Yeah.
It's kind of like the speed limit.
I'm dating myself.
Doesn't exist.
This was way 70s. So I don't know what it is now. Yeah, we lived in Germany from 70 to 70.
But you were young.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, you were young.
5th grade.
Okay.
But when you go into a guest house and they got little kids drinking beer and you can't.
Prost!
Right, exactly.
Oh, it sounds like fun. All right, so Olivia's logging. Oh, that sounds many happy returns. Congratulations on her 20th. That is super, super exciting. But it's freezing over there. Enjoy the heat. Oh, we're just cracking the window to get a little more air. Come on down, Nature Bound says. That's Lena. She's on Cape Cod too.
Oh,
Diane, great to see you. Great to see you too tonight. Deborah's logged on. Happy Friday night, everybody. Long week, but you made it. I hear that. Courtney, great to see you. Happy Friday night. Lots of buddies logged on. Cindy, happy Friday from rainy southern Minnesota. Great to see you. Carol logging on. Good evening from Northford. Naomi, so good to see you. Northford. Northford is Connecticut?
Yeah.
Massachusetts, Connecticut.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
so close.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Okay, wait a minute. That comment might be for you, Northford Naomi. So good to see your place different than Yankee cloth. So you know Carol.
Yes. I'm not going to be good with a name to a
Carol
face,
Bouland.
but hi, Carol.
Yep.
I've had 2 or 3 hooking classes there with them. I'm going to tell you right now, those ladies there are awesome. It is so cool.
So this is Yankee cloth in Wallingford.
In Wallingford, yep.
And you teach there on a regular basis.
Well, Nancy, we schedule it. I mean, regular-ish. Mm-hmm. Listen, Nancy has dove in. She's the owner, Nancy Trunco, and she has dove in. Is that the way to say it? Dove into rug hooking. Yeah. She went to the Old Tattered Flag last weekend.
Okay.
She did.
She did a road trip?
She did. Well, I think she was up there for a graduation, I think. Yeah. And I saw the pictures of the wool wall, and oh my gosh.
I know. I have not been there.
I haven't either.
I have enough. I was going to say crap. It's not crap. I feel like I have enough of everything at this moment.
They're wonderful. The ladies that are there, I'm telling you, when we meet, and usually we go over by about a half an hour because we're all just chatting.
Yeah.
But some great hookers. They are.
And do you have an example for us? Like, I'll get through this, but do you have an example of like something that you would teach there?
Not down here. It's in my workroom. But it's I did basically. I have something similar over there. I'll show it. It's that sunflower that's over there.
Yeah.
There was sunflower, but I think our next class is going to be a finishing class.
Oh, that'll be helpful.
To help them, to go through finishing, either binding or crocheting or just sewing down the back.
I like some of the stuff up on the walls here. I've seen some of it, but some of it's new to me.
Some of it's new. Yeah. Some of it's new. My bunny. I love my bunny.
That one
the
on
white
top?
one, yeah.
I love that. That's super modern looking.
Well, it's got wires. I put wires through the back.
Oh, that bunny. I was looking at the thing on top of it. I love that bunny too. Here.
This one.
Show us that. Wait a minute, let me finish.
One?
Bring that on over. Oh, and that one.
Yeah, I'll bring that one too.
All right. Let me finish saying
this one. Yeah, keep
right.
saying hi.
No, we got to talk about this. It is super hot though, isn't it? Do you think we need to
I'm going to put it back on.
Oh, sorry. Hopefully it works, everybody. It is. We thought it was cooling off here, but it's not quite yet.
No.
Ryan got the pattern in the mail, ready to get going. No rush at all. Karen, great to see you. Happy cocktail night in Black Forest, Colorado. Wine and leftover Chinese. Oh, you gotta love the leftover Chinese.
That's perfect,
right? Oh, so good, so good. I went to the grocery store yesterday. I was so lazy and tired and hot, and I got sushi from the Stop and Shop.
How was it?
Fantastic. It was like as good as the restaurant.
Yes.
It was fantastic. I got spring rolls and sushi. It was fantastic.
Yes.
All right, so come on over, Red Rover. Let's see these things.
This one, and ignore the red. It's all I had to hang it with. I think I'm going to replace it with sari ribbon.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This is, I can't, let me see how I'm doing it. Oops, I don't want to knock into your line. So, hooked it, and then what I do is I have this, it's like a fabric glue. I put the fabric glue around it, and then I can cut it once it's dry.
Okay, wait a minute. You put the fabric glue on the edge?
On the edge. As soon as it's hooked, then I put it right up to the edge.
So you get right on the edge?
On the edge. Okay. There's probably even some loops here that...
And are you folding anything over?
I fold it, no, once it's glued, and the glue is dried, I will cut the shape out, and then fold it down.
Okay.
So then what the back is I put in, there's wire. Right?
Isn't that
just
fun? Just
floral wire, so I can actually bend his little ears.
How cute is that? You could give him like a wave like he's running.
Yep. And then
how cute. Oh, the paws.
With the back, I can do anything. And then just sewed this down onto it and then bound it regular to cover up my not very good sewing. I'm not a sewer.
That is adorable. So, like when you're saying you put glue on it, you run like a bead of glue right outside the loops.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I let it sit overnight.
Yeah.
Do we need a light?
Maybe. I think so. The sun just went down.
It did. I could like fast.
Yeah, and that's good because that's where the heat is coming from.
Yes.
Right, that's my intelligence statement of the day. That's where the heat is coming from.
Well, we do get the afternoon right up there. But this was super fun, and what I like about this pattern is that someone had bought this of the same thing from me.
Yep.
And I don't put hearts or anything else on it. You get to draw your own thing if you want, or you just make it a variegated or whatever.
Oh, that's so cute. You could do like a pattern or a little saddle or the year.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything. Yeah. So
that is so cute.
Fun.
Now, is this in your store?
I think it is in my Etsy store. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay. If not, people can reach out if they want.
So the Etsy store is Ravensgate Primitives?
Yep.
Yeah. Ravensgate Primitives.
And you get enough on this pattern. you get the you get the full, you get a square and then a four. So if you wanted to make it into a pillow, let's say you wanted to do a background, you have enough to do that.
Yeah.
You're not limited, so you get plenty. So
I think that's it. Did you say the backing was what?
This
Monk's
is just
linen?
this is. Oh yes, linen.
Linen. Okay.
Yeah. And this was just scrap quilting cloth that I had. But I thought it was cute.
I love it. It's like one of those 80s patterns, right?
Yeah.
Super cute.
Absolutely.
Super cute.
So fun.
You're going to show the stuffed one too?
My stuffed bunny? Okay, no judging on the sewing.
No.
Naomi does it so well.
Sewing is so secondary when we're doing projects like this. I mean, it's just, if you're able to do anything three-dimensional with sewing, you're good.
Right.
But it's not what we do, so nobody can judge you on that part of it.
So this is our,
that was close.
Don't want to spill it. Stuffed bunny, oops, going the wrong way. And just flat bunny with some flowers on them.
Absolutely adorable.
And then sewed the bottom. I think what I should have done is put like weights or something in the bottom.
Yeah, he stands
But
up,
you know,
doesn't he?
yeah, he's fine.
And used a piece of wool on the back.
Yeah.
You punched into linen or into the wool?
Linen.
Linen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So linen backing, yeah.
And now, how did you? So this is the same like template or pattern piece as this.
Yep.
And then did you wing it, the base part?
Yeah,
like
I just did a circle.
That's what you do,
or an
isn't
oval. It is.
Right, because the front with something like this, the front part is going to be super stiff and rigid, right?
Right.
But the back is not because it's the wool, so it's squishy. So you've got some wiggle room with the bottom.
Yeah.
You just do any kind of a circle,
Anything.
and the bigger the better, because the better chance that he's going to be able to stand, which he totally does.
And the thing, I mean, I won't do anything fiddly. If I am doing a craft and it's fiddly, it gets put into the shelf of forgottenness.
Yeah.
That's the way to put it. So yes, exactly.
Neglect.
So I don't do that.
I think that is so adorable. Let me make sure would the stuffed bunny fit over a brick?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe. Or maybe like the half bricks. I had thought about getting like a river rock too.
Okay.
On the bottom. You do pie weights in a pocket.
Yeah.
And then I think my friend Mary had suggested doing like a pocket of some kind of rocks or weight and then sew that onto this.
Yep.
Which you could do.
Yep. I like all of these ideas. And then you would need no bottom template. It would just be the front and the back.
Right. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
There's lots of things you could do.
You can. Like I said, I wing it.
Yeah.
That's why you and I get along so well. I wing it on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So this was another wing it. My butterfly. But my butterfly is reversible. It's two pieces.
It'd be cool in the window too.
Yes, it's two pieces. I do not know how they do that where they hook one pattern on one side and one pattern on the other. I've seen that. I'd love to take a class, but they haven't any near me.
Would you like to take a class?
I would.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. I would absolutely take a class.
It seems very. It sounds very technical to me.
It does, but is it?
Probably not. But then again, when I think about it, when I tried doing the double-sided quilts.
No.
No thanks, Satan. Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. Well, not anymore because I'm too busy with this. But I used to belong to 2 quilting guilds here. The what was it? The clamshells or the seashells, or I forget what they're called, and then the nutmegs or the beech nuts or something like that. And they were both very, very nice, but they had that church dynamic going on.
Yeah.
It was like the bitter bickering of people. So where are we having the potluck this year? And it's like, oh, if you think we're having it at your restaurant again, there's no way I'm driving over that bridge. And the other one's like, well, I'm not leaving my town at night, so what you're suggesting is completely impossible. And it was like, seriously? Like, can we not agree on something to do one time a year together? It was so much bickering.
I can't.
It was everything. It wasn't just like events. It was like everything. Like, why is this chair here? You know, like, why did you put this chair here? It was just, it wasn't fun. You know?
When it's not fun anymore, then you don't want to do it.
No.
You know.
No.
But so I probably would have put wire in him as well, because you really have to hang it a certain way for it not to buckle.
Well, it has to be taut, right? But you could put tacks or little nails up.
But this was my favorite.
I love that. I love the idea of putting it in a window like here, because you can see it when you come in, and you can see it from the outside.
And you're making something that you can use throughout your fall, Christmas, winter, right?
Oh, because the side is a bit Christmassy with poinsettias.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm getting that. Hold it up one more time. I missed that too. I'm such an idiot. That's a Christmassy side with a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that cute? I love that. Let me see the other side again.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. That's more of an autumn side.
Yep.
Oh, that's super cute.
And I just found it just regular. found the two together. I didn't even sew it. I just did a regular bind off on these.
So you just put them back to back?
Yeah, and then just whip stitched it all the way around.
That's a very neat whip stitch.
Yeah. It's probably acrylic.
You know, acrylic works great for everything.
I agree.
I don't have anything bad to say about acrylic
I
at
don't
all.
either. I have a lot of it. So.
It's sometimes a little bit slippery if you want to like punch
Yeah.
it. That's the worst I
Just
can
don't
say
pull
about
it too taut when you're binding with it. That's all.
Yeah, but yeah, no complaints about acrylic.
I'm watching you do this, and it's very interesting.
I had such a great vision for tonight. I wanted to show you. I wanted to have this on backing, and I still want to brainstorm later.
Yeah.
This next project, but I want to look at some of your stuff first, and I want to talk about your stuff first because you have an event coming up.
I do, and I'm gonna be posting it to your page. I keep moving. I should.
Oh, you haven't done that yet?
I haven't, and I'm going to.
Okay.
I need to post that. So I'm having a hook-in.
Yeah.
And I'm having a hook-in Naugatuck, Connecticut. I keep forgetting. I'm looking at the computer, you guys. I'm not looking at you. Sorry, I keep forgetting. I'll be posting it onto Deanna's page. I wanted to ask her permission first. It is her page. But I'm doing a hook-in Naugatuck, September 21st. And it again, everything will be on there. You can either buy a ticket through Eventbrite, or you can download a registration form on my website and send me a check. Both works. And really my whole thing is to bring back rug hooking to this area.
Yeah.
You know, we have Quiet Corner. They do a great hook-in.
It's really far.
Love their hook-in, but it isn't a solid hour and a half one way, like for me.
For me, it's more.
Yeah. Is it? Well, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And we used to have, I don't know if you were around when we had the Newtown rug show.
No.
And then we had one in Fairfield.
No.
And that was when I was very first hooking, so I am dating myself. Tells you how old I am.
Well, you've been at it for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
But the very first rug show that I went to, and when my eyes were open to all of these vendors, they were amazing, was in Fairfield. It was at a church. And I think it was the first time I ever met Sarah at Paisley Rug Hooking. Mm-hmm. She was there. But basically they had this big, some part of a church, they had all these vendors, and you would go back through all of these hallways, and in the different little classrooms and stuff, they would have vendors. It was amazing.
That's a great idea, because I'm always thinking, how do you make things like that work?
Right.
A church is a great idea because there's always rooms in the basement,
Exactly.
and then it's like a Russian nesting doll in the basement,
yes,
right?
It is. It is.
That's a great idea.
But again, being my first time, I didn't sign up for anything. I just showed up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if they had a hook-in attached.
Okay.
Again, first time rug hooking anything,
But
so
it's a
I
great
went.
prototype for future
It was.
things.
So my hook-in is going to be at the Elks Lodge in Naugatuck.
The Elks Lodge.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a great big room up on top. The light is incredible.
So Naugatuck is near New Haven.
Yep.
And Waterbury.
Yep. And like Southbury, Woodbury, Middlebury, very close.
What if you're coming from Rhode Island? Is that trickier because you do like a triangle?
I don't know. I'd have to look on.
Well, you all know where you are.
Right.
So, do you want to say how much the tickets are so everyone
knows?
knows?
The tickets are $40.
So $40.
But you get a catered lunch.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have raffles and giveaways and things like that. It's This is not. I'm not looking to make money on this. While my business is sponsoring it,
For
or I'm
that
sponsoring
amount,
it as my business. What I want to do is bring our rug hooking back to this area. Is what I'm really hoping. Now I've opened it up to 100 people. If I could get 50, that would be great. Our vendors, Nancy from Bluff and Peachy Bean.
She's great.
She's
great.
I love her.
She brings such cool stuff.
She really does. And she has a great big, hers is usually a double booth. So if any of you all ever go to hook-ins or fiber festivals or anything like that, you see the 10 by 10 booth, hers is double and even a bit more.
She's in it to win it.
Yeah,
and
she
comes with like the Antiques Roadshow setup.
And she's smart about with rug hooking and with color planning. And then we've got, I'll be there as a vendor. You're going to be there.
Yep.
And I told Deanna.
I'm very small. I'm there very small. Mostly books.
Well, that's what I said. If you want to set up a table and sign books, you can do that.
Yeah.
Bring whatever you want.
We'll see what I've got.
We'll have your space for you.
I'll be there though.
Yeah. And then we're going to have, Lori, don't hate me, Red Heart bunnies.
Yeah.
That she does, it's a lot, she has Angora bunnies. So she has a lot of fiber.
Oh, she's your buddy when you do the, right, she shares
Yes.
the other side of the booth?
No, that's Dawn.
Okay,
But she
dang
is
it.
on the other side of me
I
usually
know
in
I've seen
Connecticut.
the Angora bunnies.
Yes.
Okay.
She has, and her yarn is dreamy.
Ooh, so she's bringing yarn.
She's bringing yarn. She's bringing stuff made from yarn. She'll have like
Ooh.
fingerless gloves. I think what she had last time. I know she had some hats. She's tried this. She's trying this nail binding, which is
Yes,
like
that like Swedish.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's amazing at
It's
it.
a very simple tool.
She's amazing at all of this stuff. She
Okay.
really is.
That nail binding does like a small cord, like
Almost
a
like
tiny
an eye
braid.
cord. Yep.
Yeah. Wonder what she's. Is she then gonna knit with that?
She has made stuff with it. I don't remember what she's made with it, but her stuff is amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that and I have that tool and I haven't taken the time to learn how to do it because I'm thinking I end up with something that's the size of like a caterpillar but long.
I think
You
it
know?
depends on your ply and the size of your
Yes.
the fiber that you're using.
Yeah, because it's like I think like a fork. Doesn't it look like a fork? You know,
That's
like
a lucette.
Oh, that is a
That's
lucette.
a lucette.
That is a lucette.
I have one of those that I haven't mastered yet.
Yes, I haven't
No.
taken it out of the box yet.
Yes, the nail binding is something a little different, and I want to say she has made stuff with that.
Okay.
So, but
Like
she'll be there.
three-dimensional stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh.
Yes. So she'll be there, and then Yankee rug hooking, Tanya, and then her mom.
Is that the daughter?
Yes,
Oh my
Tanya's the
God,
daughter.
okay.
She's coming.
Do you know them?
Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
know Tanya. I've never met her mother.
Okay.
But we used to sit together. Our booths were together at Quiet Corner.
Okay.
Tanya is a pistol.
Is she?
I love her. Yes.
I was afraid about what you were going to say.
No,
right
no,
now.
no. She is so wonderful. She really is. And
Okay.
she's funny. She's great to sit next to, number one. I mean,
Yeah.
her and I would spend, 6 or 7 hours, right, setting
Yeah.
up, breaking down, whatever. Beautiful wool that her mom dyes. And I think she's also into the dye pots a little bit, but I think she does mostly shows.
Okay.
And just beautiful stuff.
How interesting, because I know she. Are we still okay for sound? I just
Oh,
want
yeah,
to double
that's-
check.
Yeah.
I just want to double check. Okay, they're hearing the joke, so I think we're good.
I'm not quiet. My voice carries a
We'll-
little.
Yeah. It's probably going to cool off now that the sun
I
is.
think so
like,
too. Maybe I'll even prop the doors open in a minute too.
Tanya,
Yes.
last time I went to the Quiet Corner and
Mhm.
was chatting with Donna, she said that Tanya had just come and spoken at one of the meetings about their
Oh,
business. You know, her
nice.
mom was not there.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
her
think
mom's
Tanya
getting a
does
little
the
bit older.
traveling.
Yeah.
She
She
does
does the
yeah,
heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it seems like it was a great presentation on their business and like the life's work
Good.
and where the business is at right now.
Oh, her mom has been doing it for years.
Yeah.
For absolute years. When I used to Google, right?
Yeah.
Theirs would come up usually first.
Yeah. I've gone out there because I didn't realize that it's only open on appointment.
Yeah.
So every time, like in the early days of hooking, I would drive by and be like, well, I'm here anyway for the Strawberry Festival. Let's like do a twofer.
Right.
And it was always closed because
Yeah.
it's like her house, you know.
Yeah.
Now I get it. But yeah, it seems
Kinda
like an
here,
awesome
yeah.
place.
It is. And I mean, I've never been there, but I've heard that it is wonderful. Her mom is, I've never met her mother. She's very talented.
Yeah, she
And
must
I
be.
mean, her wool is just, it's really stunning.
Okay.
It really is stunning. So yeah, so they're gonna
So
be there.
that's exciting.
It is.
This is like an all-star lineup so far.
Yes.
I mean, I don't mean me. I mean, like, I'm just
No, but
coming
it
with
is.
books. I'm
But
just
it
coming
is.
with books.
But here's kind of my goal in all of this is that if this goes well, next year I'm going to blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
I've already got a place in Southbury, and I want to do a 2-day hook-in. I want to do classes. I want to have a place for people to stay. It will be at this hotel, so there'll be places for people to stay.
To stay, yeah.
But if this one small thing doesn't really do well, it's a lot of outlay, financially. But,
it is. Yeah, it is.
I just think it would be wonderful to be able to have a 2-day.
I think what you're doing is smart, because I think having at least one vendor there who's not just straight up rug hooking
Yes.
is a good call. Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how great you are or I am or
Right.
Nancy is.
Right.
It matters how many hookers are per square radius and can make it that day.
Correct.
So that's tricky, right?
It
Because
is.
you can't overcome the reality of like those black and white,
Yep.
So at the end of the day, it's like you want to be sure that you give a lot of notice, which you did.
Yeah.
So that everybody who could come.
Right.
But also that there might be people who wander in who are more into knitting or yarn
Right.
or wool or spinning, that you catch them too.
Or they have both.
Yeah.
I mean, I rug hook, but I also spin, and I also embroidery. You know, all of that stuff is. I really feel like that the rug hooking, you can oversaturate.
Yes.
You can have too many people with this. You know, and I love my wool. Don't get me wrong, my wall of wool. But you can have, you know, if you have 15 vendors with just walls of wool and patterns, at some point, some of them are not going to do well. And I want to make sure that my vendors do well as well.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes a geographical problem.
It does.
When some, you know, like when you go into a big fiber festival and you are fully prepared to spend.
Yes.
But 5 hours later, you're like physically wilting. And
overwhelmed.
Yeah, you're completely overwhelmed. Your eyes are dilated.
Yes.
You're sweating. You need deodorant. You need to eat. You need to go to the bathroom. You're not sure if you wet yourself. You're like everything is over sensory, over everything. And even if the last row is like Disneyland, you're not even going to notice because you are done.
You and I are the exact same.
Yeah.
That's why I don't walk around when I vend at fiber festivals.
Yeah, it's too much.
Rhinebeck?
Yeah.
Nope. I don't walk around.
Yeah.
I can't.
It can be a lot. I try to pace myself, but it's different each time.
It is.
And it's a different order of vendors each time, even if it's roughly the same people.
Yeah.
And it's you have to kind of go in as a shopper with a vision for like, okay, these are the like I'm doing autumn projects.
Right.
I'm looking for autumn colors. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Don't be seduced by the, you know, bright fuchsias and the cobalt blues. That's not what I'm here for.
Right.
Because if you don't go in a little bit focused,
you have to.
Yeah, I mean, then it's completely hopeless.
Oh, people at Rhinebeck, you ought to see them. I was talking to a few of them last year, and they would have their projects either written down or on their phone. They would have a list of the colors they were looking for, and then they would have their map. And they said, this is what we do. When we come in, we go to these vendors.
Yeah.
We go back out to our car and have lunch. And then we come in and then we just browse.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a whole plan.
You need it. Well, when I was out in Wisconsin, I was with Kaz, who's on tonight, and Robin. Carol wasn't there, but she came the next day. Some of our buddies were out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was overwhelming. Like, it was crazy times.
Yeah.
It was extra, super size me, extra large.
Yeah.
And Kaz was completely prepared. She took such good care of us. She had packed like sandwiches in the bag. And I think when I got to that point where I was walking like crooked and bow-legged, you know, and I looked a little bit like Notre Dame, like and you know, and she was like, sandwich time, and she took out, and she's like, you come get a sandwich now. Because I didn't realize, and I'm like, let me just do 2 more rows, you know, like total addict, like just 2 more rows.
You can't.
No, and it was like I was getting like into a dangerous health situation.
Yeah.
She's like, no, time to eat. But you have to come prepared because there's no way I'm exiting like the pavilion with the fiber to go in search of hot dogs.
Right.
Like that's not happening.
And the lines at Rhinebeck are
oh my God, forget it.
Insane.
While you're getting a hot dog and you're in line getting a sunburn and sweating your whatever's off, somebody is getting like the best last sock yarn that you came for.
And you know, honestly, with the fiber festivals, there's not many of us rug hooking vendors left.
No.
Which is sad to me. Like Sarah from Paisley Rug Hooking, she is not going to be doing anymore. Well, she said she's not doing Rhinebeck, she's not doing New England.
Okay.
Which is sad to me. She's still a business, she's still doing lessons and stuff, you know, teaching and stuff. But it's a lot. It is a lot to do. So, you know, coming to the fiber festivals and at least stopping and saying, hey, or letting the people that organize it know, listen, we came to see rug hookers as well. Yeah. You know, because we get outclassed by the.
That's a great point. Do you think we should turn that off?
Yeah.
Should we try it again?
Yeah, we'll turn it off.
I have another problem. This is broken.
I'm gonna fix it.
I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna hit it hard.
Right. But we have food too, so we're being completely safe.
That is, we're being very safe. I'm ensconced for a while. So
yeah, we're here.
Yeah, thank you.
I do have a guest room upstairs too.
The kids will be like, "Where is Mama?" And I'll be like, "I'll see you in the morning, jerks." I'll totally.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this.
We're cracking the door open a little bit.
Go.
I have to show this whole studio space because it is so. Let me get up and do that when you're on the move.
Yes.
And I got my shoes off too.
I know.
Now, if you look at the screen, tell me if this looks good.
Okay.
I want to do. Oh, I can't go too far because of the wire, right?
Yeah.
So this is the wall of goodness that we're talking about here.
My wall of wool.
Yeah. And are we seeing some of the stuff over here?
Yeah.
Is it? Am I putting
Keep
stuff?
going. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we see.
And then you see the pretty barn doors.
Can you go up? If not, oh, perfect.
Yeah. Is that good?
Yep.
I know there's one behind me. Oh, the cord came out. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. That's the tag.
Yeah. Don't.
No, that's
do
the
too
tag.
much.
No. There we go. Sorry. And I love this business over here. Can you see? I love your vignette up there with the Christmas tree, right?
My goose feather trees.
Oh,
I love
that.
those.
I don't have much give here.
That's okay.
There's another wall here. Is it showing up?
Yes.
Gosh, I love that.
Just
up a little bit.
Perfect.
So cute. And your ladder. I love a good ladder.
That used to be inside my living room, and I took it down, so now I have no place for it to go but here.
Oh, that looks so good.
This
is such a cute barn.
For the roses up there, you may not be able to because it's kind of dark.
Do you see it?
Go there, just a little bit more that way. Perfect.
Yep, I love that one.
That's my most recent big rug.
That is so
My mother
pretty.
made it.
What you call it?
Run for the Roses. They're from Kentucky. My parents are both from Kentucky.
Oh, like the Derby.
Like the Derby. So I texted her. I'm like, here's a picture of the rug. What do I name it? And I think she was like, who did I raise?
Who did I raise? And this one up there, is that one piece with like a scalloped edge?
Yes.
This one is that on the camera?
Yes.
Okay,
you want to go
good.
just a little bit there. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one actually fits very nicely on a vintage shutter that I have. But
Oh, you're kidding! Like a shutter.
Yeah, like a green. It's a shutter, and I didn't measure it. It just happened to fit. It looks great. My first original idea was as a valance on a window.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
But it's a little heavy, so I didn't want to do too much. But
Doing a smooth pan over
yeah.
here. And I love the stuff behind you too.
I'm gonna move.
That's right. Do you think I'm
Go up a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
There's some of the stuff on top.
Oh, you want to show some of the stuff that you have there? Because this is all stuff you sell, right?
Well, the flowers aren't really, these are my practice ones.
Yeah.
But I do the flowers. This is actually.
Oh, you got your Swift up there.
Yeah.
You got your Taylor
She's
Swift.
just that vintage. She's retired.
Okay. She's a
retired.
beauty.
She's just decoration.
Yeah.
This is the white bunny.
Yep.
Yep. That if you wanted just to hook it as a bunny.
Oh, that was three-dimensional as well. Yeah.
That's just if you want to just hook it as a wall hanging or a pillow.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Here, let me do
the
this.
same. Yep. So yeah, it's the same.
Same size too.
Yep. Same pattern.
Nicey nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's like the missing puzzle piece.
Exactly. But the same. So because some people don't want to do this, they want to do a pillow or a wall hanging or something. It's just.
And some people have so much stuff they need something different to work on.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can do it any way. You don't have to decide when you're hooking it. Just when you're ready to do a background or not.
Absolutely. Let's
So,
see.
yeah.
Let's look. If I go like this, do we see? I want to look at your gnomes and stuff over here. Are those mini punched?
Yes, that is which.
Are we on the camera there?
I'm gonna go and grab these down.
Here,
so
I'm gonna
that
switch
you
places
yeah.
with you.
You can tell me if these are
Yeah,
good.
those are them.
So this is
A little more this way.
That way?
Yeah, that's it.
So this is Russian punch needle, embroidery punch needle, whatever you like to call it. And this was actually I did this before I ever did rug hooking. So, and I love it. And I have a lot of the DMC floss from cross stitching, which was my entry craft into all of this. But these are fun. Just, you know what? Just draw something. You can get weaver's cloth at Joann's or Michael's, or you can order it online. You just draw it on there, stick it in a hoop, and start punching.
Yep.
And then
them up just a little bit more.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I just
So
back
cute.
it, and then I have these cute little vintage buttons,
Oh yeah.
right? And then I just tied the extra. This is actually number 8 strips
okay.
of wool.
Perfect.
And yeah,
They are so cute.
they are fun.
They
these
are
are-
so cute. And are those little guys on the wall?
These are actually hooked. Remember?
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, there was a rug hooker that passed in the Nutmeg Guild, and they had a big tag sale
Okay.
of her stuff, and she did fine hooking.
Okay.
And so I bought a bunch of her, you can probably see it better here,
Oh my God.
her number 3s
Yeah.
and number 4s.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do shading, so I just basically took them and just hooked little hangings.
Those
So-
are so cute. Did you hook them like that, or did
Yeah.
you hook like 2 or 3 at once?
What do you
Hook
mean?
them singly? Like, cause you could also with little angel hair pasta like that, you could put like 5 together and hook it as one.
No, I hooked them there. It's just single.
Oh wow, you went for it.
It's just single.
Yeah.
And what's nice is like I said, you can, if you have a scrap piece of linen or monk's cloth, right? Yeah. You bind it, tape it, whatever you do, and then you just stick it in your hoop or your frame.
It's a nice small travel project.
And then just did again number 8 strips, braided them, and then these are like little vintage buttons.
Oh, that's so cute. It's so nice putting cute stuff like that on.
It's fun, and I mean, whose mom or dad or granddad didn't have these little leather buttons on?
That's so true, with the little grids on them.
Yeah. So very fun, and again, it's using stuff. But it's enjoyable.
Oh, that's so cute. What about that pillow there with the denim pouch on it?
So this is a jeans, as you can see, a jeans pocket. Mm-hmm. And what I did was figured out the size of my pillow, figured out where my pocket was going to go, and I sewed the pocket on first. Yeah. And then hooked around it. I have had small ones, large ones. I've had people buy them for toothberry pillows.
Oh, that's perfect.
You can embroidery if you want to on here. But this is good for holding your clickers, your remotes.
Very good for holding the clickers. That'd be great for putting a couple of melatonin pills in or something, you know, if you wake up in the middle of the night.
Yep. You could do anything in this. So and yes.
That style reminds me of, let me see if I'm getting it on there. I'm going to check. That piece up there I super love. The white one with the silhouette shapes. This one up here.
Oh, yeah. Those are cookie cutters.
Cookie cutters, of course. The shapes are perfect.
Yep. Marshalls or TJ Maxx.
There you go.
Clearance. I think I paid maybe $1 for all of the cookie cutters, and then I think the circles might be canning lids. And
oh my God! What? How cute is that?
And then my little carrots are free-handed. So.
Oh, I love the carrots.
But this is nice. You can set it in the middle of your table, and each person on either side gets the right side.
And it's like, you know, we're so used to seeing primitive work, but you usually see it in super dark colors, right? Yep. So this is like a thicker cut. This is like an 8.
It's an 8.
Yep.
Most of mine are 8s.
Yep, and I love 8 too.
I do too.
But it's like it's a different color palette than we're used to seeing.
It is.
It makes it just a bit more interesting.
In my brain, primitive is the size of your rugs, your strip of wool. Yeah. And then if you want to go, you know, and I have primitive like that, the flower that's over there, very primitive. That is underneath the bunny. Yeah. That one is quite primitive.
Let's see if it's on there. I know you all know I'm rejigging over here.
Yeah, so that's quite primitive as well.
Okay.
I love all of that. Which way are we going?
Just straightened a little bit. Yep, there we go.
Better?
See, this is a nice view. Yeah, this is a nice view of here. So you've got your frame set up over here.
Yeah. And then, that was actually, Sarah gave this to me, and she had a friend of hers.
I was going to say, let's talk about that.
When her last day, I was so sad. Her last day at Rhinebeck, I went over to see her, and she tells me she goes, I have a present for you. Oh. And I'm so sorry, Sarah, if you're on here, or the person that hooked this, I apologize, because she did tell me the artist, and I'm going to find out from her, and I'm going to
Can we get it off the wall? Is it on there good?
No, let me get my hammer. And
it's
very cool.
You have to see this close up. This is so funny and cute.
And to me, this is primitive.
It is.
With the colors and everything, right?
Oh, it super is. But it's got a great joke.
It does. And she gave it and she left fast because then she wanted me to cry because of Sarah.
Oh.
Sarah is a wonderful person as well as a rug hooker.
Aww.
So this is.
No cries.
I know.
Here, so right here.
Yeah. Are we good?
So go even closer to right over here.
Are we good?
Yeah, that's great actually.
Can you read it? I can't read it.
Here
so you
lies.
Can read it.
Yeah, leave my glasses on. Here lies. I, Emma Hooker, died with hook in hand, a smile on her face, and bits on the floor. 1842. And it's like a gravestone, right?
Yep.
That is so cute.
Isn't it? I love it.
That is impossibly cute.
I love
it. Put it a little bit lower. Yeah, even lower. Yeah, and you can see all that beautiful work, right? All the grays on top.
I'm going to get a little bit
funny?
Closer if you want. Because you've got a lot of variegated whites and grays. There's even a little bit of a kind of a brown.
Oh, yeah.
You can see it right here.
Yeah, it's a good mixing mix.
There's even white.
Yep.
There is maybe a door natural. I'm just going by what I use.
Yep.
And then you've got these pops.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Oh, that's so perfect. It's like
right?
It's like little wildflowers growing.
It is, and I mean, there really is. This is what I like about Primitive. There's no rhyme or reason.
No.
She pulled this and threw in these darker colors in the corner.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah, I find Primitive hooking so creative.
It really is.
Like even like not that like it's apples and oranges, but like the more realistic. I'm going to put it back to us at the table.
Go ahead.
Here, tell me if it hits us while we're doing our doodles.
Yep.
The more realistic stuff is, and I want to have it more on you than me.
Good. No, why?
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good. It's perfect because you're the host.
Nope.
Sorry. I ran over your feet.
My feeling. Oh, I'm a little bit crooked. That's going to have my OCD. Yeah.
Which way?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Is that better?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. I love both. Obviously, I love both because I love fiber, so I love it all.
Yeah.
But I always have this feeling that when you're doing something realistically, it's either right or wrong. Like you want it to look exactly like the thing, and either it does or it doesn't.
Yes.
And if it does, it seems like, well, that was a success. I've shown my technical prowess in spades. But with primitive hooking, I feel it's more like you just described. You pull a little bit out here, you put a little bit more in there.
Right.
You substitute colors, you create illusions by putting colors next to each other, which you can do with fine hooking as well.
Of course.
But primitive hooking, I think it's a harder game because you've got less pieces.
But it also takes the stress, for me, it takes the stress off of what am I turning out. Because you know what, if it turns out, a certain way, I really, I didn't have exactly what I wanted something to look like.
Yeah.
So I like this.
I feel like it, when you're doing like all the kind of crazy marble cakey backgrounds and all of the mellow colors and all the strong directional hooking that you can only get with the wider strips. There's another layer of interest for me.
There is. That's why I have to have a frame that spins. Yeah. I know the directional people, they say you should be able to hook in any direction just by with your frame sitting there. I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah. My frame, I started with a Sears port, flat frame, and then I got the floor, and I loved it, and it lasted about 13 years. And then the thing got wonky, and I went and got a Needleworks here in Connecticut. Again, that's what this one is.
Like, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're right. She's close. I forget where they're at.
I don't know her.
But it spins.
Right? Yeah, it's got it's like the captain's wheel.
Yes.
Yes.
And I need this. Yeah. And I'm not going to apologize for not being able to directionally hook on a non-spinning frame. No. So
you don't have to be. Those silly things are not like badges of honor. Being able to do a headstand and do this at the same time. I mean, nobody cares, right? The only thing that matters is how it came out, and if you're happy with it.
Did you enjoy doing? I'll show you one just real quick if you don't mind. But I enjoyed doing. Yeah. This was in my brain. So I'm a military brat, and I'm on a military brat Facebook page, and I said, give me some words that say military brat. What do they say? I hate hooking words. I hate it. I hate hooking letters and words. I really do. So what I did, because military brats,
that's so creative.
Our symbol is a dandelion because it scatters all over the world. Yeah. So I did acrylic yarn,
they're beautiful
pom-poms, and then I took all of the words that people gave me and I printed them out and then put them on here. But I did,
this is an enormous piece,
a landscape, and it's just
gorgeous.
Every color I had, I dyed nothing on purpose for this. Okay, and I used number 3s, like in the flower over here. Let me see, the one that's right, this one. Yep. Those are little number 3s. I used 8s. I used 6s. And
amazing directional
that's
hooking.
What I did.
Right, amazing energy, great storytelling.
That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted was with this to be something that for military brats, it was what they felt. And these are military brats that are like my age. I'm 58. Yeah. So, they're still remembering, resilient or adaptable or traveled. Yeah. And there are some not so positive words either because it's not easy.
Sad.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yep.
Yeah. This is such a great piece when you're talking about primitive, right?
Yeah.
Because I was saying this in the hit or miss class today. It's only when you get the wider cut that you really notice the directional hooking.
Correct.
So, I mean, we've got a blue sky, and it certainly reads as a blue sky, right? It's blue and more blue. But you've got this strong directional horizontal hooking happening. And then in the hills, you're able to pop the feel of the hill and all of that energy and movement of the landscape by doing directional hooking, right, along with
that's what I wanted.
The shapes.
Exactly what I wanted.
So much energy. It's so much fun. It's so lively. And then the storytelling bit of other people chiming in with their words and
how
their,
they feel,
their history.
You know. But I think that when you decide to do something that where you have the horizontal hooking, you have to decide, do I want something to pop? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just wanted it to be swirly, the whole thing to be swirly.
Yep.
But I didn't. I wanted the landscape to pop. I wanted these words to pop. I wanted these dandelions to pop.
Yeah.
So that was just making it really like a background.
I think this is amazing because just the element of the dandelions and knowing that that's the symbol, right, for military families, and just the beautiful idea of the seeds like flying all over the world. It's just beautiful.
I love that. This is one of my favorites. I have to finish sewing the pocket on the back, and then it's going up in my living room.
It's so meaningful. I mean, it's so meaningful because it is like a typical primitive landscape, but it has this other layer of interest.
I love it. Thank you very much.
So good.
Okay, I'm
all
all
done. I hate
done.
hooking words too. I hate hooking words too. You know what you were saying just now about hooking stuff right side up and upside down, all that stuff. I have to say, you know, I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, there's obviously quite a few things, but like besides the obvious, when I'm hooking, like I'm hooking the cover of the next book and it has words, and I cannot hook the letters upside down. Like what does that mean? Like what does that mean?
Means that you're built right side up.
I mean, it's so crazy because it's just a shape.
So now we've talked a little bit about this book.
Yeah.
So tell me about this book because you are quite the prolific author.
Well, I love doing this because this is a huge platform, right? We
Yeah,
just hit 20,000 people in our Facebook group. I mean, that's like
amazing.
It's amazing. It's a big group. And you know, and the thing about this group is that people are super busy and active.
Yes.
You know, it's not there are exceptions, right? There's always exceptions.
Of course.
But 99.99% of the people who are in this group, somebody new comes in, oh, am I holding the hook the right way? Or is it like, and 100 people are going to answer.
I love it.
In 15 minutes. Yeah, you're holding it the right way. Do this, tip this, stretch this. You know, and super forthcoming with the answer.
Yes.
Not this mindset of like,
if I keep it a secret, maybe I'll make more money.
There's no gatekeeping.
No, there's no gatekeeping. And that drives me crazy. Everybody's like just right out there with, you're doing great, keep going, even if it's not great, right? Like, I mean, who cares?
It doesn't.
Right? You're learning, you're gaining momentum, you're gaining experience, you're logging miles. You know, it all goes somewhere. Nothing counts for nothing, according to The Sound of Music, right?
One of my favorites.
I know, me too.
No wonder we get along.
Yeah, but you know, it's such a big group, it's such a busy group, and there's nice people in there.
Yes.
So it makes it very easy for me to do projects where, if there's 50 patterns in the book, I'm going to probably hook 5.
Right.
And there are 45 people who are ready to hook the other 45.
Yes.
And it makes it a full-size book. Not only a full-size book, an extra large book, so that there's value. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be 70 patterns at the end of the day. It's going to be a lot of patterns. But you know, I want it to be. It's going to be the first all Halloween rug book.
And what's the name of it again?
The Haunted Rug.
The Haunted Rug.
Right. So this is coming out in October. We'll talk about the book party in a second, but
you know,
there's a bunch of designs out there, and people are still writing to say, look, I'm a total beginner, but I love Halloween, and I'm up for it. So, like, I have to date, like, as of yesterday, been doing more simple line drawings and stuff for people who are beginners, or thinking, like, I'm going to punch this, I haven't punched before, and I'm thinking this is great to have patterns that are super beginner patterns, but also very complicated patterns that are a proper project, right? Like a feat. So it runs the whole gamut, like a feat. It runs the whole gamut. So that's exciting, and you know, I was thinking about like the fact that there's so many patterns in it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, okay, you know, you get to like 100, 150 pages, 200 pages. We're not talking about that much of a different price.
Right.
I mean, you hit these landmark numbers, but then you know it's not so much that it's worth like turning people away. So I was thinking, oh, what if I like did half of the book this year, and then I did like another half in a year or two, and then
Volume 1 and Volume 2.
But then I thought, who cares?
Nobody cares.
Right? Like I'm gonna have more good ideas and more projects that I want to do.
Yes.
In 5 minutes. Like I don't want to wait 2 years for some of the drawings that are already in my sketch pad.
Yes.
Like
I don't know about you, but if I don't draw up something that's in my brain.
Yes.
And even if I just start color planning it, pulling wool, it goes away.
Yes.
And I firmly
Totally goes
believe
away.
that the muse says, oh, you don't want it?
Mhm.
I'm going to go give it to somebody else. I do firmly
You
believe that.
ungrateful wretch. I'm
Yes.
taking it back.
I'm taking it back and I'm going to give it to somebody else.
Window of opportunity
Yeah,
closed.
I know.
You're done.
I know.
It's true. It
Yeah.
feels like that. You get less excited, right?
Yes, you do.
When you have something and you're excited about it and you have a vision for it, whether you're hooking it or not, it's like, oh, I'm super excited. Like this is my new favorite thing.
Yes.
But see if you feel like that in 2 weeks.
You don't.
Right?
If you
You'll
don't
be like,
start.
that's garbage. I never want to see that again. I'm
Right.
happy if someone else hooks it, right? Because I'm done.
I think though, when I have a hard time with classifying something as a beginner pattern
Yeah.
or more, and I understand.
Yeah.
I understand what's behind it, but I sometimes, if I come back and I've done like that swag, and that was a lot. It was trying to figure out everything on it and then hooking it. Sometimes I want to just come in and hook a sunflower.
Yeah.
Or I want to hook a witch's hat. Or I want to hook a trick-or-treat bag. Something like that, it's like, I need that feeling of accomplishment.
Yes.
It doesn't take me 3 months to do.
Definitely. But by the same token, that whole confusion about, is it a beginner pattern or not? At the end of the day, any pattern is a beginner pattern.
Correct.
If someone is like infinitely patient,
Yes.
and they understand you fasten your seatbelts.
Right.
It's going to be a while.
Right.
And it's going to be bumpy because you're going to be figuring things out as you go. This is your
Yes.
first rug and it's a big one. Well, if you love what you picked, right?
Right.
I'm a big believer in, then go ahead and pick your favorite pattern even if it's big. You'll just be working on it for a while, right?
Right.
I mean, particularly if it's a wider cut, it's
Yes.
like, it's not going to look that different to other people from beginning to end, right? And
My
it represents
question,
the journey.
My question when I have people come to fiber festivals and they will say, oh, but I really like this rug, which is 3 foot by 5 foot.
Yeah.
I don't want to have my first one be this 10 by 10 sunflower.
Right.
And I will say, my only question to you is, if you hate it,
Yeah.
can you force yourself, if you hate hooking rugs,
Yeah.
can you force yourself to finish a 3 by 5? If you can, great.
Yeah.
Have a ball. If you can't,
Yeah.
and listen, I'll take your money either way.
Yeah.
But if you can't, my suggestion is the 8 by 8, the 10 by 10. If you hate it, you can make yourself finish an 8-inch by 8-inch flower. Then say, you know what? I have accomplished this. I will never do it again.
That too. I mean, that also makes sense.
I mean, how many people, and I've done it, I will be the first to admit, have
Yeah.
gone to a knitting shop, a craft shop,
Oh,
a
God.
fiber festival, any kind of
Yeah.
festival, and you've gone through and picked up 6 different new crafts.
Yeah.
And how many end up in your closet that you never do?
All.
Yes.
All of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why I asked
Save
them,
none.
listen, you know, I'm looking out for your bottom dollar.
Yeah.
If you think that even if you hate it, you can finish a 3 foot by 5 foot rug,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Yeah. It really depends on the person, and you can't.
Yes.
I don't feel that you can gauge that when a customer approaches. You know.
No,
sometimes
it's a conversation.
It is.
It's a
But
conversation.
even so, sometimes the person doesn't know
Right.
what they are.
Right.
Because it's like, sometimes I get this feeling when somebody new approaches and they do want to do something big and ambitious for a first project, and you want to engage a little bit, right? To get a
Yes.
feel for what their
Yes.
personality's like. Because you don't want a person working on a project, you don't want to set them up for failure.
Correct.
Number one.
Correct.
But at the same time, it's like, once they get going, it might be a person who is more inclined, you know, it's uphill, right? It's
Right.
all uphill.
Right.
Oh, I suck at this. I'm not cut out to do this.
Right.
But you get a feel for whether they're a person, like you're saying, who's just going to keep going,
Correct.
right? And get
Absolutely.
past that stupidness of, I wasn't cut out for this. It's like, or you're holding the wrong hook with the wrong cut, right?
Yeah.
You've got the wrong combo going, and you've got, your backing is too tight. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's not really you. Maybe it's like the tool that you're holding. But
Every kit I sell people,
Yeah.
and they get my card, and my information is on that kit. It has my phone number, it has my email. They can text or call me. They can email me. If you need a lesson,
Yeah.
if you need, we can do Zoom. You can come here,
yeah,
no charge.
yeah,
Let's sit down and do it.
Yeah.
And I've had people take me up on that, and it's great because they sit and they go, "Oh, I was fill in the blank of
Yeah.
all the rookie stuff that we've all done."
Yes.
I'm self-taught. I learned from YouTube.
Me too.
I've never taken a class.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? People look at you like, "Oh my god."
No, I think that's great.
I like it.
I think figuring things, I mean, personally, I think figuring things
Yeah.
out on your own
Yep.
is the preferred way. Because,
It is for me.
yeah, for me too. I've taken a lot of classes in my life, and I did college 4 times for art, but this I learned on my own. And with it, I mean, you must have done other textile stuff and other craft stuff.
Just
before.
cross stitch.
Okay, well that's a big one.
It's I did cross stitch for years.
Any needle craft will do it, right? Because you have it in your head. You understand shapes. You understand lines. You understand borders. You understand where things meet. You understand backing fabric, right?
Yes.
How much it can take.
Yes.
You understand that you're holding a tool, and that is the god, right? It's a needle or a hook or a punch or whatever.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not rocket science, is it?
It's not, and I think that people, if they would just do a little meditation before they sit down to their hoop or their frame, and just say, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Don't have any preconceived notions.
Yeah.
Mine was a little primitive rug in a country living magazine.
Yeah.
That's what it was, a bird on a branch. And I thought, what is this?
Is that in here?
Gorgeous. No. And I finally found it. I did a deep dive, and I'm like, this is the beginning. I never did it, but that was started my Googling, YouTubing and all of that. And I thought, well, and my thing is, which is not really great, how hard can it be? Yeah. That gets a lot of people into a lot of trouble. Yeah. Can I just say that? Yeah. It does. How hard can it be? And I've never found it to be difficult. My struggle is color. That is my struggle. Is putting together color.
Right? That's
it is
because you're already doing it, and now you're just fine tuning your color.
Correct.
I think the hardest thing about this craft is how the hell do you get when backing fabric, cutting the backing fabric, shoring up the side so it doesn't unravel while you're working on it. Yeah. Where do you get your supplies? Where do you get your frame? Yeah. I don't want to spend $300 on a frame. I don't know if I'm gonna like. How does anybody get started? I don't even remember how I got started. How do you get started when everything is so crazy? It's not like you go to the craft store and they're like, here you go. Right. This is your stuff. Yeah. Have fun. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah.
But I think that's where, I wish it was having a storefront is something I could do. Yeah. It's not. It's not feasible for me.
For this moment.
Correct. Yeah. Right. That may change. Who knows? Mary, if you're on here, I'm sorry. My friend Mary and I, we talk about it, and she always thinks that I put things out of my mind. But they come back. They do. They come back. But I have this, and I have told people, you can come here and shop. Yeah. You can come here and just sit. If you want to hook, call me. Drop me a text. I'll come out here and we'll sit and hook. I think that's important. But I direct people, honestly.
You're a great person to come to, because this is a lot of inventory.
It is.
Right? And you're super nice, you're super approachable, you're not scary, you're not mean, you're not edgy.
No.
Right?
Oh, I don't know if I could be edgy.
No, you couldn't be edgy.
I couldn't. I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried. No. But I think
you're not like that.
I tell people, look, Facebook Marketplace, that is a great, if you want a frame, if you said, I got to work on a frame. If you want a frame, to me, Facebook Marketplace, eBay has some deals. You have to kind of shop a little bit. Yep. Honest to goodness, flea markets and tag sales.
Oh God, yeah.
Lord help me. Yes, it's crazy. And watch for your guilds. Even if you're not a member of a rug hooking guild, a lot of them will have tag sales. Mm-hmm. Green Mountain is getting ready to have one, I think. Okay. In July. Check out their Facebook page. Because I honestly mapped how long it was going to take me. It's 4 hours. I'm not doing it. But they're having it.
Are they still in Montpelier? Is that their base?
I think so. Okay. I don't remember. I just know they had the address of where their tag sale was going to be.
Yeah, it was far.
And that person that showed that D-stash sale that they went to. Oh. Those are great places to go to as well. But if it comes down to it, get a hoop. Yeah. Just get a hoop.
Definitely get a hoop.
Just get a hoop. It is a little bit more fiddly. Yeah. But honestly, for the first 2 years, I had a hoop, I had burlap, and I used stuff I found.
Could you use a crochet hook? I mean, really.
I did use a crochet hook.
Did you use like a 3.5?
I think it was. I used whatever I had.
Primitive substitute.
Yeah. I used whatever I had. Yeah. I don't remember, but my first thing was burlap that I bought to tie up my tomatoes, and I had extra. Yeah. And a wool skirt that I had. I just wanted to pull loops. I wanted to see what it felt like. Yeah. So I was, for the first 2 years, with a rotary cutter and a mat, cutting my wool strips. Yeah,
why not?
It worked.
I mean, why the hell not? What is it about this world that if you say to somebody, oh, look, I made this, right? I'm so boho and awesome. Yeah. and I made this out of garbage bags and welcome mats.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing it, and everyone would say, "Oh, you're so awesome! That's so cool that you that you did that from scratch." But like for rug hookers, it's like here I am sitting here with my hoop and my crochet hook, and everyone's like, "You have not got the right equipment. You need the $78 Miller hook or the Hartman hook. You need the dragonfly frame." You know, like what is it?
I don't
it's
know.
such a double standard. It's crazy.
I don't know. I ended up, like I said, my Sears port, and the only reason I got it because that 2 years, you guys, I saved. I was working. Our kids were young. Husband was working. We were busting our humps. We did not have $300 for a frame.
Yeah.
The frame is wonderful. Sears port, I love you. I love the frames. It lasted for forever. But the only reason I was able to get it was I saved my money, and then we were taking our kids up to Maine to drop off with relatives because they spent the summer there, or our daughter. And so I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up. I'm going to be 10, 15 miles from Searsport when they were up there. And I went in there and I bought a frame and I bought a cutter. That was $700. I remember it.
Ooh, that gives me stomach cramps when you say $700.
But I still have, here's the thing, I still have the frame. I'm going to do the hooking down in Punta Gorda, and that's where Searsport is now, so I think I'm going to contact them and see if they can't recondition my frame because I love it.
Oh, I bet they can.
I'm going to find out. If they can't, they can't. I still have it.
So the frame is excellent, but the cutter you could have found on Facebook Marketplace if you were lucky for 100 or 125.
But at that time, I don't think there was a Facebook Marketplace. This was
there was a Craigslist.
There was a Craigslist. Oh Lord, now we're really getting dated. But I think that if people, and also, and I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to make some people not like me, but if you're buying wool from a rug hooking business, and they tell you that they can't cut that wool for you, I find that to be a problem.
I got a lot of choice things to say about that.
I will cut wool for people wherever they buy that wool from. And
I will too. I always cut strips.
My kits all come already cut. As I tell people, look, all you need is a hoop, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
When people buy yardage and stuff from me, I say like, you know, I don't have every Sizzix frame. I have most of them. So I'll say like, you can do this, 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 or this.
Yeah.
And how, I mean, honestly, I'm standing there like this for 15 minutes.
Right.
It doesn't take a lot out of my life, right?
You know what I did?
What?
When my second year of Rhinebeck, I bought an AccuQuilt Go, and I had a custom die made. It's,
okay, yes.
It's all automatic. It cost a few dollars. Listen, I make hundreds of kits, and I don't know if you can see my fingers, but do you see how crooked my fingers are?
Yes.
They need a rest.
Sorry, I can't see. They need a rest.
They need a rest.
Yes.
I've got the arthritis.
I'm sorry.
So, no, it's as long as I keep moving and using
they're gorgeous
them,
fingers,
they're fine.
though.
Thank you.
They're gorgeous
do a
fingers.
lot of work.
You're like 5 ring sizes smaller than I am.
No.
Those are like some little fingers, man.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. They're like little pencil fingers.
I got little skinny fingers, but they're a little crooked. But I bought myself the AccuQuilt, and I bought I did a custom die for a number 8. That's the only one that I do the most of.
Yeah.
I have a Sizzix 8 and a Sizzix 6.
Yeah.
I also have the Sizzix, the old tattered flag, their pedals, the large and the small, because why not?
Why not?
But I do. I will cut. If someone comes to me and says, hey, I met you at the 5 or whatever, I bought this kit and they didn't cut it, bring it over.
Yeah, why not? Right? I mean, why not? Why not be helpful if you can?
Because what's going to happen is that kit, they're going to say, well, I'll put it aside and I'll cut it later. And they never cut it, and then we don't have another rug hooker.
No, well, thank you for doing that.
Right.
And I do that too.
But
if
that's
more people
great.
did that, there would be more rug hookers.
Yes.
Right? If you just, when there's like a rug hooking emergency.
Oh,
right? You have somebody who's like, I'm sorry, I've got 2 hands and I can't find my rear end. Right?
Right,
like,
exactly.
I need help with everything.
But I think that we have to look at it that way, that this is a community building craft or art to me. That's how I see it.
I do too.
You know, I see it as, because when I quit my job to start doing this, thank you to my husband. How many husbands would say, oh, you want to quit your job and start doing this where you're not going to make a lot of money? Yeah, go ahead. But I found that I was very self-isolated. Right? Because I was sitting and hooking. That's what I would do. I would put on Midsummer Murders and I would binge, 3 or 4 seasons.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I've been watching the live thing in the background for days. What's the best episode?
All of them. There is not one.
Most of them are
just one.
very, very good. I watched the Straw Girl.
The Straw Man.
Right, with the hollow.
Yes.
That was very, very good.
I have rewatched those multiple times.
I have too, and there's so many because we're heading towards season 20, I think.
No, we're in 25.
Okay. Right. So there's a landmark season coming up for them.
Yes.
They're advertising it like crazy.
I know.
And I'm thinking, those early ones, with the exception of like the episodes with the rainbirds, like the classics.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah.
But the 100 in the middle, I don't remember. I don't necessarily remember who did it.
I don't either. So I'll go ahead and rewatch them.
It's perfect.
And
Isn't
I just
great. It's so good.
But that I will tend to self isolate.
Yeah.
So now I have hookers and knitters that come to my house on Wednesdays. There's 4 of us counting me, but we get together. Your buddy next door is Elaine next door. She's a master knitter. That woman absolutely blows me away.
Wow.
Sweaters and scarves.
That's such a mystery to me.
Oh,
how people are able to do these intricate patterns with
2 sticks
knitting
and some string,
and not even breaking the sticks in half. Like just knitting it until it's done.
And then they give you the look like, what do you mean you can't do this? No.
God,
no,
does she
I can't.
talk while she's knitting?
Yes.
So she's not even paying attention?
No.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
Oh, no.
I can't even do like a triangle scarf.
You should come and spend the day at the Fiber Festival with me because...
Do you mean in Rhinebeck?
No. Well, that one, but the one in the New England. There's 3 people. It's a young man and 2 young women. And they walk around knitting.
Okay.
And talking, and they're making things.
Do they have one of those knitting basket things?
Yes.
Okay.
And they talk.
Where's this?
That's the one at the Big E Fairgrounds.
Oh,
but it's not during the Big E. It's the first.
I was there last year.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Yes. That was fun.
So you should have come sat with me because they think
you
it's
were
funny.
With Dawn, and I talked to Dawn forever.
Yes.
Yeah, because she had a cute animal
there. She's freaking brilliant.
She was fantastic.
Needle felting, spinning. She's out there.
She was super fun.
Very talented.
Yeah.
But they now they tease me because they'll walk by and they'll stop and be like, "Oh, the show offs are here again." They start cracking up. But yeah, it amazes me. Yeah. It really does.
It really is something.
Me.
I'm sure that it's one of those things that once it clicks,
Oh, I'm sure.
But see, our craft doesn't work like that,
no.
right? Because it's not pattern based. If you're approaching like a witch's hat, I'm looking at the piece over there, or a snowman, or a beehive, or whatever.
Yeah.
You and I are going to hit it differently.
Correct.
Right. Depending on if you're going to do primitive, you're going to do.
That's what I like about it.
Me too.
That's what I like about it. I like the fact that my patterns will go out there, and I beg people, and I have yet to have one person come back and show me a picture. I think sometimes they're a little embarrassed. They don't think
really?
They don't, and it kills me. And people will get hung up on like, oh, but your loops are so even. And I'm like, okay, I started out as a cross stitcher. My loops will be nothing but even because that is how I roll.
Yeah.
I look at other rug hookers and what do they call higgledy-piggledy?
Yes, I love higgledy-piggledy.
I can't do it to save my life.
I can't either. I think I have I don't want to say outgrown it, but I've out-trained myself.
Yes, I think that's exactly what it is.
I love the way it looks. It looks so organic and spontaneous and seat of the pants.
It does.
It drives me crazy that I can start doing it and then something happens on Midsummer.
Yes.
And I look up and I'm like this, and then half the field that I'm covering is done like very methodically.
Yeah, it's
and
all like, exactly, and it's like, oh, come on.
I know. I don't consider it. I never take offense to anything, but I don't consider it a great compliment when people are like, your loops are even, because it's like that's number one, not one of my goals.
Exactly.
Number 2, it's not a badge of honor to be super even, right? I always say if you like the way that your rug is hooking up, then that is all you need. You don't need Celebration Magazine to say, yes, you're in. No. Right? You just need to like what you've done and to want to have it in view and to say, that's my thing and be excited for the next thing.
I tell people, first thing when I go to teach a beginner class, I tell people, do not look at how even my loops are. Do not say that you want your loops to be that even because they're not going to be. Yeah. They're going to be too tight. Yeah. They're going to be too loose. They're going to be too tall. They're going to be too short. If your expectations are set up that it's not going to look like this, my model, because I've been doing this for 13, 14 years, it's not going to look like that. Yeah. It's going to be something else. So just cut yourself a break. Yeah. Just enjoy it.
Isn't it weird that this is like, if it was a different craft, like, or if it was cooking, and you took a cooking class and you were all making like a crepe Suzette.
Yes.
And mine tasted different or yours tasted different. And the teacher came over and said, oh my God, you've got some je ne sais quoi. Like what, you put something different in there. Yours is very unusual. That would be a good thing.
Right.
But with rug hooking, it's like, mine doesn't look exactly like the teacher. That's weird.
Yes. I don't want it. But even painting sculpting, pottery. I mean, we've seen people do these, and I have never seen a teacher come out and say, oh, well, your vase doesn't look like the vase that we started out
They
with.
always go, oh, you've got something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like there's something different about you. And that's always a good thing.
Exactly.
But in rug hooking, it's like, no, it doesn't look like it. I bought it at Home Goods, so we've got a problem here. I'm not cut out to do this.
If you want a Home Goods rug, go to Home Goods.
Yeah.
That's kind of, you know. Or how about you put that on the floor?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'll put it on the floor.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I have a 100-pound Great Dane Weimaraner, or whatever the heck he is, mix that when he takes off, all the rugs go flying. But you know, so my friend Mary, her mother was a prolific rug hooker, like big rugs, 8x10 rugs, and her mom just told her, I will not give you this rug unless you promise to put it on the floor. And she has them under her dining room table, and they've gone through grandkids, and they're beautiful.
And what is the edging on her rugs?
I think it's just regular binding.
Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't have it just folded over.
No,
so it's like
I think she has, if I remember correctly, and Mary will tell me if it's not right, she does have rug tape on it.
Okay.
But I don't think it's whip stitched.
Yeah. Like the cotton tape underneath the twill.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I think, and she's done Claire Murray rugs, like Mary's working on some of her rugs.
Those are so durable. I mean, that's like 20 ply.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but it's such thick yarn.
Yeah. She's doing hers all in wool. Yeah. Just regular wool. She actually went to Benita and had the back color plan because I didn't feel secure enough in what I was seeing to say, oh, do this. And it was something completely different. And it looks great. Yeah. It looks great.
So how do you do your color plans? Because you've mentioned that a couple of times. Like that's kind of your Achilles heel.
It is. Yeah. I struggle.
Yeah.
And I don't do what you should, which is figure out what you want your background to be, and then do everything else. I do everything else because it's more fun. It's more fun. Like
that's the way I do it too.
This is what I did with this one. So this is the one that
You can show that.
I can show this.
So
this is for Deanna's book,
the
right? Real
rug.
Cute.
Yeah.
So what I should be doing is thinking about, well, what color is my background going to be? What color is my back going to be? I did not. I basically went and pulled. I just find something for my back.
So this is a preview of the Haunted Rug.
Correct.
Right? And there's a heck of a lot of patterns in there. This is Naomi's, and this is just gorgeous.
I don't know if you can tell.
It's going to say trick or treat on the little bag?
Yep, it's going to say trick or treat on the bag.
Yeah,
These are the colors I pulled, so if you can tell, I've only color planned for the pumpkins.
Okay, let's look.
Right?
This is fun. Yeah, this is fantastic.
So these are, I'm going to do all different, they're going to be the same color, but different variations of all of these, right? I pulled those out of my worm basket.
These are leftovers.
Correct.
This is a lot of leftovers.
Oh, you should probably see my workroom before you leave.
Oh my God.
Tonight.
It's like, what did you cut? Like 16 extra quarter yards or something?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or it was from kits that I'm not doing anymore.
I see.
And it could be that as well.
Yeah. This is, can you see all these great nummy colors? I mean,
There's all sorts of colors in here. But my bat is actually an old skirt. I'm going to bring it up here because you can see there's red and there's a plaid.
Oh,
there's a red and a gray.
Oh, I love a plaid.
Right?
You never know how it's going to come out.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know it's going to be cuckoo.
But my background can't be black.
No.
Because this is black. My background is going to, if I decide on a blue, it's going to have to be a dark, dark, dark blue.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, okay, let's talk it through.
That is
so
my
wait a minute, now who's that?
Struggle bus. Oh, this was for my words.
Okay.
Remember, hook them smaller and then take them out, blah, blah, blah.
So you're looking at orange for the pumpkins, but you've got quite a few values of orange.
I do.
Because you've got the super darky darks, some middles, some rusts, and then some hitchhikers in there that are like a little bit different.
Yep.
And then you've got your dark skirt material for the badge. And you've got yellow writing for the trick or treat bag.
Well, it's the only reason I picked this is because I read this in a book, and I if anyone knows the name of the author of this book, let me know. I have it. But when you hook words, you should hook them in a smaller piece. So this is a 6, and then once you've hooked everything around it, you take it out, and then you hook it in a larger. But then you rehook it larger, so an 8.
No, I do the opposite.
Oh, do you?
I hook it large.
And then go to small.
And then I pull it out, and there's a nice big space like waiting for it, and I hook it in a hair smaller.
Oh, so maybe
like
I could do that too. So that's my plan.
Because then it's not crowded, right? Because if you hook it in larger, then it's gonna get crumpled a little bit.
I could have reversed it in my head as well.
Either way, I'm sure it comes out.
Either way, that's what this was for. That one is that. But you figured that, I might want to do maybe some little dried grass or something down here. Maybe I haven't completely drawn everything out on it, but And I'm thinking this might be, I don't know yet. I don't know what.
Well,
this
it really
be.
depends because you do. So you're talking about grass, so that's quite literal. Like it's the ground, so maybe I'll put grass. You do great backgrounds.
But it's the colors that I struggle with.
But why not do crazy colors in the background?
Maybe.
Right, because you've got a very stable color plan going with the oranges, right? We're gonna.
But you don't think that if I did multiple of all these colors in here, that if I did a crazy background, it wouldn't take away or look busy, too busy?
I don't think so.
I can try it.
I think that the oranges will be very stable because there's 3 in a row.
Right.
So, I mean, our eye is immediately going to go, that's a totem pole of orange. It's got to be pumpkins. The bat, you want to be careful with the bat, right? Because he's going to kind of function in silhouette.
That's right. And that's why, I mean, I drew a face. I'm not putting a face on him because
I like the face. He's cute.
I'd have to use sock yarn.
Yeah.
What I was thinking was actually hook him and then do it after he's hooked.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, backgrounds are my struggle. And I think that I'm actually considering taking a color theory class online that may help me. I don't know. My degree, psychology, okay, I was a teacher. I've never, art is new to me. This is all brand new to me.
What would be the least likely color that you would put in the background of this?
White.
Okay. So what would be wrong with white? Like, I mean, no, I don't mean solid white.
No. That's what, so, I don't know. I thought about, what I would really like to do is purples. But then I thought maybe I'll do a purple bat. I like purple. You see my door?
Okay. So what if you did a purple bat, orange pumpkins, and then the background was like tweeds like the skirt and then more tweeds?
Oh, that could be.
So that the back is like black, right?
That would be cool.
And you've got your purple bat.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Could work. You could also do different color pumpkins instead of all of them orange.
I can.
You
I
could
thought
do a
about
white
that
and a
too.
pistachio or whatever. They don't even have to be those colors. One could be purple. They could be purple pumpkins with
I
an
thought
orange
about
background.
I thought about purple pumpkins. I like purple.
I mean, that's wacky and unexpected, isn't it?
That purple. See the purples right there?
Yeah,
that darker one? Yeah.
You can't see them right
now.
No, can I take them down real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me just take down this little.
You can just pull that
These
whole
are so
pile.
atmospheric, right?
I like those colors.
Yeah, they're
like
super inky purple. The light ones on the top, the darker ones a little bit further down. Those are, when you're doing a background, I always feel like it's the biggest damn part of the composition. I want to have fun while I'm doing it.
Right.
If I'm not having fun and I'm going, oh my God, I'm just logging miles, then that's not good.
It's not, and it's not fun. So this is a work in progress.
Yeah, it's so good.
This is
so good.
I'm reusing. But anyway,
I love this project.
We'll see.
It's super fun. I'm going to do an additional plug and say, listen, if you, so Naomi, you can't come to the book party, which is October 20th, because you are at the Rhinebeck Fiber Festival, which is the largest one in this part of the country.
Let me just make doubly sure. I think that's
correct,
correct,
it's the same weekend.
Is it?
It's the same. So that's not good for you, but it's good for a bunch of people. I haven't even put the tickets up for sale yet.
Yeah, 19 and 20.
But a bunch of people have booked flights.
Stop.
Because Saturday, and I think I'll do it too, you can go to the Fiber Festival and then Sunday go to the book thing.
That's
you
true
can't
too.
Because you've got a stall.
I've been there.
But what a great double whammy because they're not that far apart.
That's true. It's not. It's about. I forget the drive. Oh.
To the Berkshires, because it's right on the other side of the New York line.
Yeah, it is not. I mean, we go and set up on Thursday, and then Aaron and I will, and then Mary and I will drive up on Friday, and we stay overnight, Friday night and Saturday night.
Okay.
So.
If you want to stop on Sunday on your way home, no pressure. No pressure.
What time is it till on Sunday?
I think it's going to be 11 till about 5:30.
I won't be broken down by then.
No, you won't. The reason it stops at, have you been to the Red Lion in Stockbridge, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Isn't that a cute place? Have you been downstairs to the Lion's Den?
No, and it's been a long time since I've been there.
They always have live music down there. It's so charming.
It is. It is.
It's like such a moment in another century.
Honestly, if I were moving to Massachusetts, that would probably be the area that I would want to be.
Me too. The Berkshires is the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Cape Cod. Cape Cod is a lot, you're a little bit isolated. You're actually on an island. And it's not such a year-round good time.
Right.
But the Berkshires is a 4-season destination.
It is.
It's so good. But really, their big season is fall.
Yep. Oh, the drive back is gorgeous.
Oh, I bet it is.
It's
That's
gorgeous.
A great time of year.
We go back roads and take it easy. And I forget where we end up coming out. I think in New Preston or in Sharon.
I love that area.
Yeah.
It's really the middle of nowhere.
I didn't know anything about it. So, our daughter worked there for a vet for a while there, and every once in a while I would go up there. It was beautiful, and the homes. Oh, yeah, they're beautiful.
It's like, you know the movie Christmas in Connecticut?
Yes.
Isn't it like a little bit like that out there?
It is.
It's a different time. It just gives you such a vintage vibe.
It does.
You just feel so full of inspiration and happiness and life is simple and straightforward.
But it's
and
not.
easy.
You gotta be modern day rich to live there.
No, you do have to be totally modern day rich.
You gotta be modern day rich to live.
Connecticut.
Yeah,
Connecticut.
you do.
Everything is crazy in Connecticut.
When I tell people I'm from Arkansas. That's where I graduated high school,
Yep.
and people I graduated or that I knew or that I'll meet while going down to visit my parents or whatever. And oh, you're from Connecticut. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm from the part of Connecticut we work for the people, like Greenwich, Westport, etc. Which is not bad. I love it. I love Naugatuck. I do. I love our little town. This is a beautiful town. I do. I love our little town. We, like I said, lived here for 30. They're here in Naugatuck 30 years. We were in Derby for 5 years before that.
And the only reason that part of Connecticut, right, like the Stamford, Norwalk, Darien, all of those, the whole reason that they're so expensive and it has that elite vibe is because it's so close to Manhattan.
Correct.
So it's not like it's the most beautiful part of Connecticut. It's not the most beautiful part.
No.
It's just the closest part to the city.
That's where people that are commuting in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's and Darien's beautiful. Norwalk. I like parts of Norwalk.
I do too. I still go up there because we used to live in Stamford, but this was years ago.
Yeah,
we did. We rented a house on Old Long Ridge Road where Paul Newman lived.
Oh,
and
nice.
He was often at the little market on that road.
Stop.
And it was in the middle of nowhere. And we had the last house on this road, Old Long Ridge. It was a beautiful, I want to say late 1850s house. And
my dream.
And we rented it, right? And the guy next door owned it. Like this old guy, Frank, owned it. And he always wanted my dad to buy the house, but my dad was like, original money pit, right?
Yes.
You could, if he was in the basement and you were upstairs, you could see him clearly through the floor.
Sure.
Because the grout was just shot.
Yeah.
And he was down there, on the dirt floor, like messing with the mechanics or the switches because something was wrong. And Frank would come over and duct tape, like a pipe or everything.
I've learned to love duct tape.
Absolutely. But it was totally the house made of made of duct tape.
I'm sure.
But it was the last house in Connecticut before you hit New York State, and then you went over to Bedford, which is another impossible money area.
Oh, yeah.
It is so cute, but you really need to be old money to have the.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even new money. Like it's not even that kind of money. It's like crazy, crazy money.
But it's a good place to go thrift shopping and to go tag selling, or like when they have their 1 year pickup. That's a good place to go.
They're throwing away things that are absurd, right? Furniture and clothing that's just absurd. It's like, it's so nice over there. It does have some charm.
It does. But
it's the flavor of the people.
Right.
You feel like elbowed out and overlooked, and I never feel like I have, like my nails are good or that my bag is good. And it's not good. It's definitely not good. Like,
see, that was a hard thing for me to get used to. Again, military.
Yeah.
We lived on base housing until I was right before freshman in high school. My parents bought their first home. It was in Arkansas. But it never occurred to me that there was like a difference.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody base housing. Everybody got this kind of a house. If you had this many kids, you got this many bedrooms.
Yeah.
Oh, if you weren't on the list, you were living on the economy. You were living off base until they could get you. I mean, it was just, I was very surprised. It was, and then of course moving up here from Arkansas the first 6 months, everybody wanted me to talk. The accent, which is gone unless I'm mad.
I was going to say, I think it's mellowed out.
If I'm really angry, it comes out. My kids know, they run.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Connecticut. I love the Northeast.
It's a beautiful state.
My dad did our ancestry, and we are Maine.
Yeah.
From Ireland, into Maine.
Yeah.
And then a lot of New England. So I think it's a lot of ancestor memory kind of a thing too. But I love it up here. I don't.
It's a hard ride from other
times.
I
think it is. I think I won't live in the South again. It's too hot.
It is. It's. There's so many beautiful places.
There are.
It's what you're used to, isn't it? What you're used to.
Yes.
And where your heart is, where you long to be. I lived abroad for so long.
You did, and you were an adult.
So long.
I did. I was young. You were an adult.
I was an adult.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I just hit tilt with my sense of humor,
Yeah.
And when I realized I was just swearing at like the bus driver,
Yeah.
I was like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I am like, things are changing like permanently in my brain. Like I have no filter at all. I was just shouting at people at grocery stores because they were such jerks.
Right.
They were such overt jerks.
Right.
And you just hit tilt at a certain point.
You do.
And yeah, just cultural differences for me,
And I think also being in the military, it's a different, because you have your core family on base, right?
Yeah.
So you always know, just like if you leave home, most people can always go back home.
Yeah.
We always knew. I mean, my mother told a story. We were out, I don't remember where we were, walked into a march against Americans. 70 to 75 guys, so we're talking way back when.
There was a lot of that in the 70s.
There was. But it was basically, my parents said, don't talk, don't say anything, and we fast walked back to the car and left. But we knew we could go back to home.
Yeah.
So it was. I think it's different. I think it's a different thing.
It's slightly different, but I have to say, living in the Netherlands, like not that long ago, 7 years ago,
right.
I'm so ashamed of how many times people asked me if I was American, and I said, no, I'm Canadian. Because a lot of people hate Americans, and I just don't want to have that conversation.
No, I think that's what it comes down to.
And I felt like an absolute traitor because my dad was military. He was in like 3 different branches. He was in National Guard, for all of his life, but he was in 3 different branches. He stood 3 times when we went to band concerts for 3 different branches. So, I mean, we weren't travelers. He was in like intelligence and
right. He traveled, and you guys got to
exactly.
You guys got to stay, right?
But yeah, I mean, people don't always like Americans, and that's left over from the 70s.
Absolutely, it was. I mean, and it, the thing is, like I said, I was younger, remembering some of these things, but I also remember, like, before we went, they were like classes on how we're supposed to behave, and that you're supposed to be gracious because you're in somebody else's place, in somebody else's land, somebody else's home. So it was largely positive. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I say this. Military, to me, traveling, we went to Amsterdam. We would go there. We saw the Anne Frank house. There was a woman that she let out to only military families, and her name was passed around, and we would go and stay, and it would be one of those row houses, the 3rd or 4th floor, right? It was beautiful, right on the canal. Yeah. And I remember all of that, but I do know that there was a large part of it that was not. I mean, I think it was the Officers Club was blown up once while we were there.
Okay. That's one too many times.
It is. But again, 70 to 74, 75 was a totally different time.
It absolutely was. I remember when I was born in 72, my dad was in the Netherlands, and we still don't know why. We thought he was doing something, and it seems he was doing something else. But my mom was
we had the same dad. I get that. Okay. Yeah.
But my mom was pregnant with me, and my mom is the nicest, sweetest, friendliest person.
Yes.
Young, like 22, big smile, ready to go. It wants to be friendly to everybody, not a bad word to say about anybody. And she said that when she would go to like civic events and functions, the Dutch people would turn their chairs to her because she was American.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You just want to kill them still. You want to find who they were and kill them. Because it's so unfriendly, just like the wife of, somebody who chose, I mean, my dad chose to live there. He loved the Netherlands. Right. He was interested in the Netherlands. He was interested in the history. He was immersed. Right. He wasn't like passing through. And they were horrible to her.
Sorry, I meant to turn that off.
No, it was the 70s.
That blows me away. Yeah, see, I was born in 65. So we were in the States, for my first 5 years. But I just find, I do remember that the woman I remember, my mother hears this, and I'm misremembering it, she'll let me know. But the woman that was in Amsterdam that we stayed, Mrs. Nieuwendijk, that was her home.
Oh my God, what a perfect name.
That was her home, but then we had a German teacher that would come on base and teach us once a week.
Okay.
She would hit us with rulers if we didn't do things right. So behind her back, we called her Frau Cow. So
Frau
sorry.
Cow.
She was probably doing her best. I probably should.
That would be so fun. That's so clever.
But she was doing German school in American, and we didn't get hit. I know.
I'm not making fun of Germans because my brother-in-law is German and he is the softest, sweetest.
I love Germany. I would go back if someone came
Germany
and said we got to go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I would absolutely go back in a
heartbeat. I also love Germany. We always went over there for Christmas markets and stuff. It was so charming. I loved Cologne.
Christmas markets, yeah.
Oh God, it was so atmospheric.
We should go.
Yeah, we should go.
I'll go.
We should go. You know,
I'm in.
At those Christmas markets, it seemed like, first of all, there was so much nice food, and there was raclette, and there was all kinds of like crazy foods, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You just go and stuff your face, and you're wearing like 2 parkas because it's so
oh
dang
my
cold.
gosh.
But it always snowed. It always seemed to snow.
Snowed.
And it's like Hallmark movie.
It really is.
Every time.
Like those, what were those little? They looked like trees, but they would do the candle and it would make it spin.
Yes. Those are so cute and probably super flammable.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then all of the other stuff, like they're smokers, right? They have the nutcrackers, but they have those smokers that smoke comes out their mouth. Those are so. The nice ones are super expensive, but they're so worth having.
They are. And if you put the little cone incense in there instead, it won't catch on fire as quickly.
That's a really good idea. And it
just
probably smells like balsam or something.
It smells great, but it just doesn't. You can catch it before it catches on fire.
Oh my gosh. See, that is so fun. There's great Christmas markets in the U.S. And Canada.
They don't.
But the German Christmas markets, it is like its own entity, isn't it?
It is. It's beautiful.
Such an atmosphere, you know. And then besides the Christmas market, there's always like, as soon as you stray from the square or wherever it is, you know, there's like 50 pubs where there's live music playing.
Yes.
And you just choose, like, do I want jazz or do I want, you know, what am I in the mood for?
Yeah.
And then you go in there and you have a drink and you have a little more food, and it's a total change of scenery and change of vibe.
It is quite relaxing. I just find that it's it flows.
Yeah.
It flows so well. And I don't know if we don't have that here because we're still young.
Yeah.
You know, compared to all of these other countries.
Yeah.
We haven't learned to chill out yet and just go with the flow.
There's something really moving and incomparable when you're in a village square and there's cathedrals on the side of you that are like from the 1300s.
Yes.
And the snow is coming down. You're in the shadow of a building that has that age.
Yes.
And whether it's something primal in you that like wants to buy a nutcracker and wants to drink some glüh wine.
Yes.
But you are still feeling that atmosphere. You're like hemmed in by shadows of things that are so old that you can't help but like take on the weight of those things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it becomes part of your evening.
I think it does. I think that it does, and I think it grounds you though. It's like, you know, what really matters, because this cathedral's been here for, you know, since 1300s or whenever, or that building where somebody's still living. Yeah. They're still living in that home, and that home was built, and here we are saying, oh, I want my 1700s colonial or 1800s whatever, and it's like, really? It's a little young. It's a little young.
It's apples and oranges.
So yeah, I agree.
Such an atmosphere.
It is.
It's so different. It's so romantic. It's so heavy.
I love the States too. I mean, I haven't traveled much here, because we were always, you know, this side of Missouri, the Gateway Arch, right? That's how I kind of in my head. So I would like to see more on that side. I would like to do more traveling there.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Everybody's so nice. That's one thing I noticed when I was living abroad.
Mm-hmm.
I was always pushing a double baby carriage with my 2 kids in it, and everybody in the Netherlands was, for the most part, so unfriendly.
Yeah.
Right? They're very anonymous, stoic, dour. There's a reason why people say the dour Dutch, right?
Right.
There's a very good reason for that.
Right.
And as much as I love the Dutch, right, and I do, right, and I married one. And my kids are Dutch, and I was born there too.
You marry one?
I married one, and I was born there too. So we are all of us. The whole family was born in the Netherlands.
Right.
We are all, you know. At the same time, they're not super friendly people.
Right.
Right. So it's like you hear an American voice, and it's like, where's that coming from? It's like a radar goes up, and it's so nice to talk to another American, because for sure Americans were always friendly, no matter what part they came from. It was like encountering an American somewhere in Europe when they're holding a map upside down. It's like, can I help you?
Yes.
And it's so pleasant to have an interaction for 15 seconds and say like, the cathedral's that way. But you just feel renewed because it's like, nice person.
It's a taste of home. Yeah, I think it's also a taste of home.
That's it.
You know, and I think that's one of the things being military is that, you know, our home was fluid. Yeah. Right? It was always very fluid. So when someone will say still to me, even though I've lived in Connecticut for 35, almost 36 years, where are you from?
You still say Arkansas.
I will either say Arkansas, or I graduated high school in Arkansas, but I've been here 30 something years.
Yeah.
Because honestly, in Connecticut, you're still not from Connecticut if you've only been here 30 or 35 years. You're just not.
No, you're still a newcomer.
So, you know, I mean, it used to be, you know, I was raised in the military, and I don't go any further than that usually.
People know.
They do, which is fine. I don't regret. I'm happy that I had it. Yeah. I'm happy that I had that kind of. I loved that life.
That was a great experience. You were safe. You got to travel. You knew that it had a shape.
Right.
Right. You were moving around, but you knew you could come back in the end.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's a great experience sampling all of those other cultures.
Yeah. And my parents said, if we're going to do this, we're doing it the right way. We traveled up. We saw all sorts of, you know, Sound of Music. We got to leap through, you know, where they filmed it in the all of that stuff is just can never be replaced. No. So yeah, I loved it.
Such a great opportunity. Yeah. One of the million great things about the military.
So I forgot to ask. So back to, I know we've gone off on a tangent. We should do this more often. But anyway, so you're gonna have the book release on that the night. What is it, the 19th and 20th?
The 20th.
The 20th.
So the 19th I'm going to be with you at the Fiber Festival shopping.
Okay, all right, that's right. That's right. Yes, the 19th.
So yeah, the book party is Sunday, October 20th. Please come. I will put the tickets out tomorrow. I won't do it tonight, right? Because I'm going to make it home. It's going to be late. I will put the tickets out tomorrow. It's been hard to put a price for the tickets, and you just planned an event, so you know this. I've got to work in the food, the place, because I've already paid for the place, which is like ouch. But so that's set in the food, and the book comes with the party, and then there's going to be a little bit of swag, right? Which that's my problem. I'm figuring that part out. Right. But it's been hard to price the ticket, partly because the book keeps growing. Right. And every time I finish a show, honestly, there's going to be 5+ people who say, I would like to do a pattern. And I'm not at the place yet where I'm like, sorry, you're too late. Right. I'm like, okay, here's some choices. And now I'm thinking, okay, 60, 70, we might be more. Yeah. And then how many pages is that? And then how much is that to print? Because if the book is included in the function, I can't make
Are you self-publishing or is it?
I'm self-publishing this time because I worked with a big publisher. That was hard. Yes. I worked with a small publisher. That was hard. Yes. And I'm just going to try it by myself this time. It's not that I'm bad at working with others. It's
you just want to try all the different ways it'll work the best for you.
Absolutely. I feel fully capable of organizing the text the way that I want it. I know there won't be accidental duplicate paragraphs or cut and pastes, right? Because and if there are, I'm the only one I can blame, right? Because I did that. So I feel like I want to try it this way. And I trust myself to do it. Yeah. I'm not a computer person by any stretch, but I feel like it's not impossible.
But you can figure it out. I think that's the thing, is that you don't have to be a tech person for you to be able to figure it out.
I mean, it's like it's built for fools. Like they've created software for idiots. Right. And I'm thinking, I'm smart, but not with this stuff. I'm a complete idiot with technology.
But you want to use your brain on other parts of that. You don't want to have to use your brain power on figuring out how to use the software. You want to be able just to go in and
make
say,
it easy.
I just
make it like PowerPoint. Let me drag some stuff. Yeah. Right, let me drag some stuff. Show me how to make a text box. Yes. And then we're good. Yeah. Like I'm totally good from there. I know how to change the font, right? Yep. I know how to change the color. Perfect. I can change the background of the paragraph. Like that's all fine. Yeah. But I'm basic, right? But that's all they do with the other books anyway. They just change the font and give you more pages and accidentally make typos. Right. So it's like, do I want to sign up for more than that, or
no, I think you'll be fine.
Thank you. So we're going to see how it goes. But Cecile says, I agree with the purple background or light blue.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm going to do.
See, that could be good. That could be very good as a fade too, because there's such good complementary.
I think so.
And Cindy says, is the book party for all of your recent books? No, Cindy, the book party, I will have all of my recent books at the book party, but the book party is for the haunted rug. So it'll be the all Halloween book, and the ticket will come with swag that includes the book. So the lunch is tea sandwiches. I ordered tea sandwiches. Perfect. I thought that was different than
I like that.
Wraps.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I think that's good.
Yeah. I mean, with wraps, you always know it's like ham or tuna or it's so boring. But the tea sandwiches have legs, right? It could be anything.
Do you like salads? They put what is it, chicken salad or tuna salad or egg salad or
and like salmon and cucumber and stuff.
Yes.
But it's something different,
You can kind of cover all the bases.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. So the book party, I will have a stall, and the book party, I'll have my books and I'll have a little bit of merch. And then there will also be Haley's coming from Loop by Loop.
I know.
Will
I'm
be
so
there.
jealous.
Well, you're going to be at the Fiverr Festival.
I am.
And that
I
is
know.
amazing.
I'm trying to be in
And
two
you're
places
always
at
there.
once.
I
I
know.
am.
She's going to be there. Haley's going to be there with Loop by Loop, so that'll be fun. Melissa Gauthier, who's in Canada, who does incredible designing and has been doing amazing rugging and teaching up there.
Yep.
She's coming down for this, so she
Fun.
will be there.
Yep.
I will be there. Colleen Tiefenthal, who's my buddy at Beach Nut Studio, she is in.
I knew that name.
Yep.
That name was like,
She's
okay, what
gonna
is that
be
connected
there.
with? Nice.
That's exciting. And Kirsten, like my buddy Kirsten
Yeah,
in Vermont,
yeah.
is going to be there because she's
Perfect.
part of the brand as well. So we've got. It's small, it's small. It's just 5. We're gonna have small stations, but we're gonna have stuff.
That's nice though. You don't want to overwhelm it because you're there for a specific thing.
Exactly. We want to fool around. I'm sure we want to fool around and talk, and we can do like some hooking.
Yes. Yes.
It might be that people want to come and go because the inn is right on the main street. It's that Norman Rockwell picture. And I mean, if people are like, not type A, like I need some air.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's a lot of people here. So, because it could be a cap of 70. I have to cap at 70.
Right,
That's it for
right,
that
right.
room. With the tables, that's it.
Right.
But people could take off and go, to the
There's
country store,
so
the general
much
store,
there.
and be like, I'll see you in an hour, right? I'll be back in an hour. I'll come back to hooking, but I want to shop while the
everything's open.
everything's
whatever,
open. Make hay, and come back. So, it'll
That's
be
a fun town.
fluid.
That is a fun
It's so
town.
cute.
It is.
There's lots of little stores all on the main street, on the same side of the main street. There's nothing on the opposite side, just residential built, houses.
Yeah.
So it's very limited. There's no crossing the road. It's right on a stretch of 2 or 3 blocks.
Yeah.
It's exactly like it is in the Norman Rockwell painting. But small stores, there's no Target, right? There's no Target, there's no CVS.
But you will recognize it if you know that's the Norman Rockwell Stockbridge. Because I remember the first time Aaron and I wanted to go on a drive. And I think it was Old Route 7.
Yeah, it is.
Going up through there, and all
Talk
of a sudden,
about antiques.
we pulled up, and I'm like, and your brain, how your brain kind of goes, bing, this is something.
Yeah.
This is a
Absolutely.
thing.
This looks so familiar.
And then he's like, Norman Rockwell.
Yeah.
The Norman Rockwell Museum
is
is
also there.
Yeah.
It's not on the main street. It's
Right.
around the corner, so it's like
But
a
it's
5-minute
walking
drive.
distance. Yeah.
If you could.
If you were just
I'm gonna
walking
drive.
from there. Yeah.
It's around the corner, it wraps around the corner, and there's like a beautiful tower right where you make the corner.
Yeah.
And it's called the Children's Tower. It's this beautiful bell tower
That's
that
right.
rings in the afternoon when the
That's
kids get out
right.
of school. They ring
That's
it
right.
every day
That's
when
right.
the kids get out of school. And it's like one of those old-time New England things, like when the bells ring,
Yeah.
it's time to go to the factory or
Yeah.
come home from the factory or go to school.
Or come home from
Yeah,
school.
it's one because no
That's
clocks,
right,
So
yeah.
the bells still ring every day for the children to come out of school. Imagine how much better would school be when it's like 2:29, right? And the bell is going to ring in 1 minute, and you're like, "Come on, bell!"
Yeah. Or they ring the bell so you can go home for lunch.
Oh God!
I
Well,
know.
those days are over.
I know.
That would be
We
inconvenient.
used to go home for lunch. I liked
I mean, I don't really want to see the kids in the middle of the day. It's like I see them.
Maybe
in the
I should
morning
ask
and
my
at night.
mother. Did she really want to see us in the middle? Maybe she didn't. Maybe I'm misremembering how great it was.
No, it's super great. It's super cute, but not everybody's set up for that anymore,
True.
right?
That
'Cause
is true.
You
We are
use
in
this school as the babysitter now.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
It is. I do like Stockbridge, and that is my drive. And then when we would come back, and I think it was right over the border back into Connecticut. It wasn't Torrington, but it was
Kent?
like around there. No, we were coming like through Torrington, so
I
like
see.
8 to
Winstead? No.
maybe
Okay.
it might be. It's before like
Oh,
Harlingen.
maybe Canaan.
Maybe.
Okay.
But there's like
You
there was
come
this
through Great
greenhouse.
Barrington,
Yes.
right? It's like
Yes.
you go through the Canaans,
Yep.
and then Norfolk, and then
It
Winstead,
could be,
and then
yeah. There used to be. All I remember is that right before we would get to this greenhouse, there was a Dairy Queen, but it's closed now.
oh no, there's
But
still
there was a
lots.
greenhouse,
Yeah.
and they had their moms were huge, and they were a great price. So we would always stop, and we would get,
Aw.
I mean, like 6 or 7 big mums, in the front of the house.
It's remarkable how cheap mums are.
I know.
Like
I
the
know.
chrysanthemums, right?
Yeah.
It's remarkable. That's,
And that's
a good time
fall.
of year for them.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. That's such a beautiful area too. That's where I've never stayed out there, but the Blackberry River runs through that
Yes.
area.
Yep.
And it's so romantic to me because there's this place called the Blackberry River Inn. I've never even stepped foot. It might be a
I've seen the
dive.
sign for it.
It's super cute. It's been there for like 100 years. It's probably got 2 guest rooms. Right? And I better go now because with all of the
Yeah.
what are they called, the when you stay somewhere at someone else's house.
Oh, the Airbnb
Yes.
using the verbos. And
With all
that.
of those,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
There's like the little inns and the historic inns are really not doing well.
They're not. That's why I really try and stay. Well, like for Rhinebeck, I stay either at a hotel or an inn.
I do too.
Depending.
I always stay at those little inns. Unless I have the kids and then we need a waffle maker and a pool.
Yeah.
But for me, you know, I love staying at those inns because I never want them to go. If they've been at it for 150 years, I don't want them to go.
I know. And it's just, it's like a small business.
It is. It's a small business. It's usually a family business. It's super charming. The rooms have like not changed. It's just a moment in time, you know, freezing history right then and there.
No, you are exactly right. I love it.
So good. All right, I love chatting with you.
I know. We didn't do any of our tools.
No, let's do the tools. Let's do the tools.
Have to.
No, let's do the tools real fast, and then we'll log off. It's already 8:50.
I know.
April says, "Will you be able to order a copy of the Halloween book?" Absolutely. So absolutely, I will put those up in the very near future. And what I'm going to do, because I know I want them to come out in October, because I want the people who come to the book party, if you're able to come to the book party, to say, "I'm holding this in my hand. I'm the first person to see it." So what I'm going to do is, the book party's on a Saturday. I'm going to ship the rest of the books on a Thursday or Friday. So when I get to the book party, those people are there for the book launch and the party. They wouldn't have had a chance to see that book yet. But people at home, I've already sent your books, right? So you haven't had them for a week. You've had them for 6 hours by the time the book party happens. So that's kind of coincides. And you know how I work. I can't work on stuff out of season. I am with the Halloween book because I have to.
Right.
But I mean, I like doing Halloween stuff in October.
I do too.
I don't feel autumny if it's July.
You see, the people are working on they're working on Christmas rugs and stuff.
Oh my
now.
God, it makes me feel sick.
I can't.
It makes me feel physically sick. I can't.
More power to them, but I cannot do it. I can't do it. I know.
We didn't even eat
Are
our
you
Sakis.
hungry?
Have a piece of cheese. I'm such a pig, aren't I?
I named it for you.
Look at this charcuterie board.
Here.
This is like so
there you
good.
Go. Move that, and then start eating.
Look at this adorable. Are you gonna have a piece?
I will. Of course I will. But like I said, we're being feral because I have no napkins. So
let's be feral.
I know. Do you want crackers or do we care?
I don't care. I don't care at all.
Because we're hungry.
This is very good.
We're hungry.
This is balancing this.
Yes.
So yes, books will come out right before the because I know not everybody can make it to the party. But yes, the books will be available for sure, and they will all be signed.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
You're gonna have cramped hands.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be fun. So I wanted to show one of the things I was working on for the book. Oh, sure. But we want to look at tools.
Show that. We can look at tools another time if we don't have time. I want to see your design.
Well, like I have a huge list of things that I need to do for the book.
Yeah.
And I'm halfway through, but I haven't finished like any of them. So I have that. That's like, you know, how I work.
There's black raspberries there too.
Oh my God.
Yep.
These are black raspberries?
Yeah. I love Big Y. Right?
Yes.
Get you going.
That's very good.
I want to see what you were taping together.
Yeah. So I have no business doing any more patterns for the book because I have more than I can do, and I have siphoned off plenty. But I did this the other night when I was in a super foul mood and overworked and overwhelmed, and I super love this. You know, I don't typically wear hats. Like I don't wear baseball hats, but I wear sun hats, and you know the phenomenon of hat head.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this is the next piece that I'm doing. I'll hold it up for the thing, but this piece is going to be called Pre-Raphaelite hat head because it reminds me of like all of the sort of Christina Rossetti pre-Raphaelite paintings of like the miserable maiden. But she's obviously a witch, and when she took her witch hat off, she has a cone head, right? Like Saturday Night Live. Remember the cone head?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to do this one for sure by myself, and it says hat head on it. I have to make a decision about how I'm doing the background, right? Because this is like a big thing.
I love it.
I love it too. I super love it. I did it at a stupid hour of the night. I was overwhelmed with stuff. It was like a relief to work on drawing this. I drew it out. I haven't refined it at all. I'm going to transfer it onto my whatever backing I have the most of.
Perfect.
I super love it. And you know what I was thinking?
I love that.
I love it too. I don't love everything. I mean, I feel like the designs that I do
perfect.
are great. Like they serve, but they're not all exactly for me because they have to be to a lot of people's taste.
Right.
Well, when I was at that Wisconsin Fiber Festival, I bought about 1 million. Now you're a spinner and I'm not, right?
Yeah.
I bought about 1 million.
Bats.
Yeah, of little bats. These were like $2 each. I have them in about I think I bought about 40 of them, and they're all crazy Halloween colors because they were so. Oh, they were $4.50. So I spent a little bit. I spent a little bit.
Expensive. We'll just pretend like that's
no,
inexpensive.
I mean it's definitely expensive for this much fat. But I bought every color they had available, right, Kaz? But they're so pretty, and I was thinking I want to try to figure out how to hook some of them into that piece.
I've hooked fiber like that before.
Without twisting it or spinning it or drop spinning.
Yeah, I did it. It was a sheep, and I'm sure that was a long ago rug. It's a little bit of a struggle bus.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of hooking with roping, but not a lot. And it might be that I end up because there's
that's pretty.
I know it, right? It might be that I end up. That's a mixed color.
Here, let me put it closer so you can see.
Yeah, that one. Some of these are mixed, and some of them have glitter in them.
Look at that color. Can you see it?
A little bit. Yeah. It's lots of different colors. It's like a crazy cake of many colors.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. There's a bunch of them in there, and I know I can't use them all in the same piece, but I remember that I had them. Oh, look at that one. It's got like dit dots in there too. So I'm going to see if I can work some of these in. It might be that I end up hooking her face semi-realistic.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she has a bit of a muka like quality, like an Art Nouveau quality.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm going to see how it goes. I thought, I forgot I had the rovings, right? Because they've been in a bag, so they've been invisible. And in the meantime, I bought other supplies.
We are too much alike. We probably shouldn't hang out because we would be just a bad influence
Major
on each other.
enabler.
But see, this is I'm gonna full circle around back to rug hooking. I really think, and maybe this is probably the same with a lot of crafts, I think you meet kindred people when you do this, and I think that's what's important for people to get out, even if it's just one hook in. I'm not saying you have to go to all the AFA meetings. I'm not saying you have to go to every single fiber festival that you see or every single hook in, but I think it's important to at least get out. And to just kind of, that's why we have a lot of people that are meeting at libraries now. I've thought about doing, I was going to do something like that here, but we really don't have, I'd have to clear everything out of here to get a decent amount of people in here. But I was thinking about our library, of doing a gathering or something at our local library here of hookers. And just make it very
Is there a historical society here?
There is. And they actually just moved into a beautiful building, the Tuttle building. It's actually one of the two families that founded Naugatuck. That was their home.
Oh, really?
And the school board of ed used to be there. Now they've moved, and so now the historical society's in there. So, and it's a gorgeous building. I used to do one-on-one tutoring there when I was teaching, so I know what the building is like. It's the inside. I mean, the outside's beautiful. The inside is very period.
Does it have a big space in there?
Yes and no. And I don't know if it's something that would be, I am gonna go talk to them.
Might as well check it out. Are there any like museums in town or near town that are like the Museum of
There's one in Waterbury, but I don't.
Blue Jeans, or the Museum of
no.
Dental Bridges?
We were rubber.
That's right. It's the rubber
This is Rubber Avenue.
We don't want the Museum of Rubbers.
No, we do not. We do not want that. Too late anyway. My kids are 35 and 30. We're good. But the library would be fine as long as you're a nonprofit, and this would not be a for-profit meeting. This would just be a group of people. And I know that we have there's a crochet knitting group that already meets there on Saturdays. Yeah. So I'm thinking about doing that because I really think that it's important to just get together with people and talk.
It is.
You know?
It is. And you could even get together with the crochet people possibly because they've already got
I thought about it, and I may go to one of theirs just to see what's going on and see if they have a lot of people there.
Yeah.
I mean it's on a Saturday, so
I was thinking if you meet up, it's your garden day.
It's my gardening day.
Well, you know, if you meet up also with quilters, I think that's also a match made in heaven. Right, we do different things, we use different tools. But if you like stuff on the wall, you might want more stuff on the wall or some stuff on the floor that matches it.
Right. Let me tell you that I did a quilt show in February. It was the Connecticut Peacemakers Guild. It was I try and do at least one show or something that's out of my wheelhouse, right? To see if it works. I did not have great hopes. I was like, okay, it's a day, or 2 days. Yeah, it was a Friday and a Saturday in Trumbull. In Trumbull, big deal.
Yeah.
First of all, it was very lucrative.
Well, it's a good location.
It was.
Yeah.
And second of all, the art that these women and men quilted blew me out of the water. But I talked to the person that organized it, and I said, we have a lot more in common, rug hookers and quilters, than I think that we like to admit. And I said, what makes me sad is that both of these crafts, if you want to call it that, or art, whatever you want to call it, are going to go by the wayside.
Yeah.
And I just feel that if we started partnering up with quilters, and with other crafters,
all
and
handcrafts,
just really, because I don't know anybody who hooks rugs who would look at a quilt and say, oh, well, that was easy, or vice versa.
Right.
Nobody's going to say that,
No.
because you're going to appreciate that handiwork.
Yeah. You're right.
So,
and with quilters, I mean, if we're talking about applique, we're just talking about a line drawing,
correct.
which is what we do too.
Exactly.
I mean, your pumpkins with the bat, right? That could be quilted or hooked.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, I think, is that, and you can hook with cotton, with quilting cotton.
Oh yeah.
I haven't had luck with it only because I don't think I've done it for long enough. I haven't given it a shot.
It's a pain in the butt that there's a wrong side.
Oh, absolutely.
And
it's got to be an inch wide, because you're going to fold it.
It is. And it comes up all lofty and
it does
fat, but then it wants to turn inside out. So
right.
It takes some finessing. It takes a little while.
And it needs to be in a certain spot. It's not going to be for every single rug.
No.
But I do know that quilters, when I was there, they were like, oh, I never thought of using, because if they were applique, they were using wool felt.
Okay.
And they would pick this up and say, well, what is this? It's wool. And it's felted.
Yeah.
But it's not like the wool felt that I use. Well, no, wool felt that you use is beat up and, not any less, any lesser anymore.
You can still hook with that synthetic felt.
Right.
I mean,
right. But they
different
use it. I just think that we really need to kind of band together more.
I do too, yeah. I do too. Everybody's there's something about human nature that people feel like, you know how people love to talk about themselves, right?
Yes.
Not just in we're advertising our functions and
right.
our businesses, but just in general. You give someone something like a zodiac symbol or something that's about themselves uniquely, and they love that.
Right.
And it's like there's something about human nature where it's like you feel like you have to wear this weird badge that says like, this is me.
Right.
Like I'm a quilter or I'm a hooker, and then you stick with it.
Right.
And once in a while you get people who kind of are shapeshifters and they cross over to everything, and they're like, well, hey, I'm good with the fork, I'm good with scissors, I'm good with everything, right? Anything you put in my hand, I'm good with it. But most people I have found are like, this is what I do, this is how I define myself. And you have to get around and work around that mindset and say, well, listen, if you're good at that, I think you'd probably be good at this too.
Exactly.
Right. If you just give it 2 seconds, if you just think about it.
I don't think I've ever thought I can't do something.
Yeah.
Now, if I've tried it and it didn't work out, then absolutely I can't do that.
Yeah.
Sewing eludes me. I have a friend, Patty, that has helped me with sewing, and she would absolutely be there if I needed to sew something. Patty is a gem.
Water skiing?
But do what?
Water skiing.
I have water skied.
Have you seriously? I was joking.
I am a Renaissance woman.
I could not. Total Renaissance woman.
I didn't do it well. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Did you get terribly hurt?
No,
So you did great.
I stayed up long enough, and I didn't drown when I fell.
You did a Fonzie? Did you do a Fonzie?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not jump the shark.
Okay.
We're good. But I think that I think that even if you can say I tried it, even if you don't like it or you don't feel you're good enough at it to want to continue to learn more, that's okay.
Yeah.
And people have a hard time saying that. They have a hard time. We have a hard time asking questions.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
People have a hard time admitting they don't know something.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
I know. People tend to, I mean, at least in classes, particularly in in-person classes, people tend to not ask questions, and I can tell they have a question, and I don't want to drill in because I feel like I'm putting them on the spot and embarrassing them, or people are very aggressive with questions.
Yes.
Like it's just like they're already fed up, right? Because they're splitting the strips as they pull them up, right? They're already pissed off.
Yes.
And it's like, and then the question comes out and it's like a little bit angry.
Yes.
And I don't get a lot in between where right before the fuse blows, someone's like, so I'm not having a lot of success here.
But
Can you
see,
give me a tip?
I dig in because I taught. I taught for 8 years, and I taught everything from kindergarten to high school. And so if I see somebody that has a question, and I'll give them a little bit just to see if they have, the spine to, come out and say it.
Yep.
But if not, I will absolutely say, do you have a question? And it's not confrontational, and it's not aggressive, but it is more of I want to give them that open, You have the floor.
Yeah.
You have the floor now. What's your question? There's never a stupid question. I might give you a stupid answer, and please let me know if you think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But there's not a stupid question, right?
No.
Because if you don't know it, it's not stupid.
No, and you have to build a safe atmosphere
Correct.
in teaching situations so that people are like, they see you joking around with other students, and maybe another student says something that's like, wow, that was a stupid question.
I know.
Right? And then like, well, I'm going to say my question now because
Right.
that was really something.
Exactly.
And then the atmosphere lightens up, and everybody, and then it's a great feeling as a teacher when you get to the end of the class and you're like, I think everybody's good.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to finish their work.
Yeah.
I might hear from
absolutely.
some of these people again, and that's the best you can do.
And that is my thing. Listen, yes, I have a business. Yes, I'm here to make money. But my biggest thing is I want to get people hooking.
Yeah.
Okay? However you want to do it. I don't care if you're punching, I don't care if you're doing traditional hooking, I don't care if you're tufting.
Yeah.
This is something that we all need to, because I honestly, when I saw rug tufting, my back got up a little bit and I'm like, that's not real. That's not real rug hooking. Who do they think they are?
Yeah.
But the thing is that it may not be traditional rug hooking, but it is making something, and it is art, and that's it's important.
Yeah.
And I think it's important.
It's creative.
You need to make a space for that.
Absolutely. I have always thought that the rug hook is, ever since I saw a rug hook and understood that that's what makes all this stuff. I'm like, this thing is magic. Are you kidding me? This thing can do anything.
Correct.
Right. I don't need a floor loom that takes up the living room and I can't watch the Hallmark Channel anymore. I just need this and something in a piece on my lap that I'm holding on my lap, and I can make anything.
And I don't have to think about it. Once I've drawn it and I have my colors and I know where they're gonna go. Yeah. All I have to do is I can sit there, Midsummer Murders, Hallmark Channel, whatever it is, and I can hook. But it's just knitting. I can't. Don't even breathe around me. Just don't. My poor husband, he probably has PTSD from me knitting, because he'll ask a question and it'll be like, I just want to stab him. But with this, it's like, I put it down, I pick it up, I can do whatever. Yeah. And I do point that out in classes. Yeah. I say to people, listen, this is a portable, doable, put it down, pick it up.
This is your only tool.
That is it.
Once you get started with your piece, this is it.
That's it.
And if you run out of material, like I ran out of black, I'm going to cut up a black t-shirt.
Exactly.
It's still going to work. And you might not believe it, but if you just go ahead and do it, you'll see it is working.
Right.
And it actually looks great.
Right.
And it's still just
acrylic yarn. Acrylic yarn. Yeah. And I honestly, I have to be honest.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
was a bit, a little bit too precious with my rugs. Mm-hmm. And only wool and only this. But I started where it was like, oh, I really needed a black beauty line. Mm-hmm. And all I had was black, like it was a fingering weight, right? Yeah. Wool. And I don't know what it was.
Why spend $28 a skein if you can get it acrylic, right?
Exactly.
Like Joann's.
And that's what I had. Mm-hmm. It was late. There was nothing open. And so I used it in my head because, again, being a little too precious, I'll take it out when I come and cut my number 3 or I find my black wool, fill in the blank. But it worked and it stayed. So it's kind of like sometimes you got to take your own self a peg or 2 down.
You do.
And I'm not saying that people that are traditional and that they only want to have wool, that's you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's great.
That's great. You have to know what you like.
Correct.
Right?
And if that's what
you have to know you.
Exactly. And if that's what you're comfortable with and that's what you want to see, then that's what you should do. But
it goes right back to what we were saying about people in like Fairfield County.
Yes.
Right. If you feel better about yourself, if your nails are done and you've got the right bag,
more power to you.
Then you know what you need to do.
Right.
Right. So like no judgment. You know what you need to do.
But me, I'm going to the store in my leggings and my t-shirt and my Birkenstocks, well, knockoff Birkenstocks, to go and pick up, something for dinner because I'm not getting fully dressed and fully made up to go and buy a rotisserie chicken. It's just not happening.
Nope.
So, yeah, I just think it's important that people realize that art is what you make it. And it's just important. I don't know.
Everybody should have a creative outlet.
They should. And I don't care what it is. I don't care. If your creative outlet is throwing axes at a target,
right.
Go to an axe throwing thing.
Yeah. There's plenty of those around lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. How many of those there are lately.
I know.
It's like every shopping plaza.
They have them up at the casino. I am not kidding.
I'm not sure that gambling, drinking, and extra money go together well.
I
right?
thought the same thing after I lost $200, but I was kind of thinking it was a little, iffy.
Dang it!
Yeah.
If you had only played one more time.
So my husband, he's like, "Oh, you gotta go try crap." I do slots. Listen, I do slots.
Me too.
I'm going to lose that money. All right.
Yeah, be at peace.
I go to the
It's
quarters.
entertainment, right?
Yeah, I go to the quarters. I put the money in. I know it's gonna go. It might take a little longer in different ones. He plays craps. He always wins.
Wow.
So I know that we have gas to get home. We have food money, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, "You gotta try craps." I'm like, I am depressed enough after losing $200. It was our anniversary. Happy anniversary to me. $200.
Well, but that was it. That was how you spent the night.
That's
if you bought
how we
theater
spent the
tickets,
night.
It would have cost more than that.
Exactly.
That would have been one ticket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't buy each other things. We've been married 36 years. We don't do that anymore. I'm cleaning out. I don't need any more.
You seem
crap.
like you get along really well, though.
We do,
Yeah.
and it's pretty bad. But no, I'm kidding. I am kidding. We are good.
He's sweet.
He is a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice
I'll
guy.
keep him for a while.
Yeah.
He's the one who made me move up here from Arkansas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing.
He's a Connecticut boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from this area?
Yeah. Well, he's from Derby.
Okay. Oh,
And
that's a
then
nice
family's
farming
from
area.
Maine. Yeah. So, yeah, brought me up here, and that was it.
And the rest is
And the
history.
rest is history.
Oh my gosh. So fun talking.
I
All right.
know. It's 9/11. Holy moly.
Okay, we better go. All right, so let's see. Cindy
I
says
know.
you could needle felt it. You could needle felt
That's
it.
a good idea.
Oh my God, you could needle felt it.
That's a really good idea.
You could needle felt it right onto the linen.
Oh yeah.
Holy
I've seen that
mackerel.
done, and it looks really good.
That's a much more common thing to
That
see
looks
lately. And
really
why
good.
not? Because then you could control all those little color changes.
Yeah, you can, and then you can hook as high or as low as you want around it, depending on how
You're right. It could
poofy.
look like
If you want it to be poofy, or if you want it to be more of a,
the pumpkins would really come forward.
That's
with
a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
I
Thank
like
you,
that
Cindy.
idea.
That's a great idea.
I forget about needle felting and Dawn.
I always
needle
forget
felt.
about yeah, I mean it's so good with what we do. I forget about it too.
Yeah.
I have all that roving too, so I
You
should be thinking about that more.
Do you have needles?
I do. I have a ton of needles, but I think my daughter has broken almost all of them.
Dawn has them. I could probably hook you up.
Oh really?
Yeah. She has good needles.
Yeah, we had all like the multi ones, and I mean every time Jocelyn needle felts, I mean she breaks everything. She wastes stuff. I find stuff like in the side of the couch cushions, and it just. But I'm not going to stop her either because it's so nice to see her working on.
Let me
projects.
tell you, having raised an artistic daughter, she's now 30, and she doesn't have time for it now. She works, right? She's supporting herself. Drink in all of this,
Totally.
because I'm going to tell you now, you will blink.
Yeah.
And it will be gone.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm just
going by.
No,
way
you are in
too
a
fast.
you are in a good spot now though,
know.
because you can stop. I'm telling you.
I know. I try to pay attention to everything. It's just life has been so busy lately.
It does it. It ebbs and flows. It ebbs and flows. Like our son, he was. I thought tech, right?
Yeah.
Computers. He built them. He went and worked. He's a chef down in the Outer Banks now, and our beautiful daughter-in-law is a library manager. This is not where they decided to be. But these were, I look at them now, and I still see them as teenagers. They've known each other dated since they were 15. But my babies were so little. Just treasure it. Treasure it. Because it does go fast. So if they want to leave stuff in the cushions and break things, then that's all right.
We don't have a single nice thing in the house.
Oh,
like they
didn't.
have broken musical instruments. The couches are between the animals and the children, there isn't one nice thing in the house.
That's normal. It's okay.
It's great. Like even the things made of wood
are
trash. Like there's nicks and there's dings and there's breaks in the glass cabinets. It's like, and it's not like they're particularly catastrophic children. It's just they don't pay attention and they come bombing through and stuff gets nicked and scratched and broken and it's just like wow. But it is like that saying that like the days go by so slow, but the years go by fast.
They do.
Because the days I'm like, Jesus Christ, is it 2 o'clock still? Like,
I know.
How much longer have we got to look at each other?
I know.
How many more things do you want to do today? But then you look back on the years.
You're teaching them to drive.
Yeah. And it's like, was that 2012?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so crazy. It's so crazy how it works. But yeah, I try to pay attention to both of them. Every time I see my daughter lately, she's got a cat mask on.
Yeah.
So she ordered like 100 paper mache cat masks from Temu, and she paints them all day long. and every time I look at her, even I always knock when I go in because you never know,
Of course,
right? She's
of course.
at this age. So I knock when I go in, and she's like, "Yup," and I open the door, and it's a cat with like a different mascot, and I'm like, okay, like is this what's called a furry in today's language?
I don't even
like
know. I don't even try. I don't try and keep up with that.
Yeah.
You know what?
I don't know what that is.
They're
but
home
it's
and they're
always, and it's hot, and I'm like, why are
I
you
know.
wearing a cat mask? Like while she's on her phone,
Yeah.
she's wearing a cat mask.
You know what? She's home and she's
I don't
doing.
understand.
Yeah. It's
not for me.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like I said,
okay?
it is okay. It's fine.
Because it seems so. It's been going on for a while.
Listen, I
so
see the pictures, and
strange.
your kids want to hang out with you, and your kids want to do
do.
things with you.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Yeah, they do.
That's huge.
Yeah, I'm not a total loser yet.
Yeah, I wasn't for. It took a while. It
Yeah.
took a while.
Yeah.
You know, that's okay though. That's okay too, because that's a natural transition.
Yeah.
But I think that it's important. You guys do so many fun things, and
Yeah,
you
we
make
do.
memories. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
And you know what? The nicks in the doors, they can all be fixed, in the walls.
It was all garbage anyway. I mean, I didn't buy any of it new, right? I bought it all at a thrift store, so it's like it's all garbage anyway. It's just you know, amazing how much stuff they've damaged. I mean, that's the thing.
Our son, so my husband's 6'4", right?
Yeah.
So it was the same with him. Andrew hit 6'3", 6'4" quickly. Like he was like maybe a freshman in high school. And friggin' arms and legs were just everywhere. And my mother has said this. She says, Naomi,
it's like those air things
yes.
outside the car dealership.
She says, and because I was telling my mother about it, and she says, Naomi, your dad and I used to make bets on what you would knock into or knock over or break when you'd come into a room. They have that time.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. It's a thing. It doesn't matter.
So funny. It's
a thing.
So funny.
But they're like those things that
those air sock things.
Yeah.
It's just like boom, anything.
They can't
Teddy
control.
knocked over the fan twice while I was teaching a class. It was on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
Once is like I didn't see it there. Twice is like, really? Like how is that even? How is it possible?
Don't try and figure it out.
No.
It is.
No. And by the time I blink, he will not be knocking over fans anymore.
That's true.
Right.
That is true. He will be continuing on to the next thing, and you don't want to miss that. People that are in the midst of it go, "You're crazy," and it's like I'm not crazy because I'm looking back at pictures of my kids, and I want to cry because it's like, oh, I want to just grab that piece and hold on to it.
I know.
So yeah.
You miss them from when they were younger. Like I miss them as tiny people's propped up on the couch with pillows.
Is it bad that I don't miss that part?
No.
I don't miss that part.
No.
I miss the part where they started like moving and being like human beings.
Yeah.
I loved them as babies, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I loved my babies.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
loved them. But in my brain it was when all of a sudden it was that recognition of mom or dad or
That was fun.
Yeah.
I was so relieved in my 40s to have had 2 children.
Yes.
I thought I wasn't going to be able to. So
That-
I was
yeah.
amazed when the first and then the second happened. I thought, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
And it was like, whew, I was just, it took me a couple of years to realize that it had happened and I had them. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to break them. Something's going to happen. I'm going to ruin this because I was so lucky at that age to have both of them. You know,
I
at
was
that
young and dumb.
accelerated age.
No, I was young and dumb. I was 22 and 27. So it was just like, okay, we've got kids now. Let's go do this. So I like that because I didn't overthink.
No.
Like if I had them when you had yours, my kids would be neurotic, anxiety ridden.
I was everything was like, oh my God, that's near the edge of the table, you know. But then after a while, it was like, okay.
You do. It's
and now Teddy's like, oh, remember like those years that I ate paper? And I'm like, what years that you ate paper? He's like, yeah, I would get like your bills and stuff, like the mail, and like eat it. And I was like, I never one time saw you eat paper. I never once. I'm like a helicopter at that. Yeah. And I was like, number one, either you dreamed it, or number two, you ate a lot of paper, but you're still alive.
You're fine.
No
It's
complaints.
fiber.
Yeah.
It's fiber.
He didn't eat anything else, so maybe between like the squash, baby food, and in the mail,
just
the bills.
washed it through.
Yeah, squash and bills. That was like his diet apparently for a full year.
Oh no, we made our own baby food and like froze
Seriously?
it. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It was awful. It
What
was that
a
time.
lot of time.
It was that. I only worked part time.
Yeah.
Right. So I worked in the morning, and then I would come home. Aaron would sleep, and he would go work at Sikorsky at night.
Yeah.
So I would be home, and it's like you get this pureed baby food. It was a thing, right?
Oh
It was
God.
a thing, and you would freeze it, and you would bring it out.
Oh
and then I
my
realized that, okay, we're going
God.
to Maine like at least twice a month to visit family, visit my in-laws or whatever. Like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Did you think like Gerber's was a racket or something?
I
like
don't
you just didn't
know.
want to do it?
I don't know. I was influenced by something. Before the influencers were influencers, I was influenced by something.
It is amazing to take over as much of everything as you can, right? It's
Yeah.
good to be like as homegrown and
We tried, but it was like, no, we're traveling in the car with like an infant for 6 hours. No, Gerber for the win. Jars,
Absolutely.
baby food, baby spoon.
It's there. It's this. You hear the.
Yep.
And you know you're good. It's
like,
fresh.
oh, this is wonderful.
Time to eat.
No. They're fine.
Oh,
they're fine.
It's all good. And the pendulum swings, right? Because they say to you when you're a mom, like, you better do breastfeeding or your kids are going to come out bad. And then the next year they're like, you really shouldn't do breastfeeding. It's really not the. And it's like the pendulum swings so fast that you're just like, I'm not really sure what to do, so I'm just going to do what's right for me, and I'm not going to say it out loud just in case just in case it's not the right thing for this moment.
I don't know how teenagers, moms, dads, how they are surviving in this whole social media thing. I would have absolutely been under a bus by now. I don't know how they do it. I honestly don't.
It is a weird thing, but I have to say at the same time, Mom, don't let me get in trouble.
Oh,
but
no.
If my parents had taken the Atari control out of my hand, like the joystick, it would not have been good. Like when I was down in the basement, like Stephen King person, like with the joystick, if they had touched that joystick while I was trying to play Atari or trying to record Scorpion videos off of MTV Live, it would have been bad. It would have been bad.
We didn't have American TV in my first
through
fifth
grade.
grade. We were living in Germany.
Of
we
course.
didn't. We had Felix the cat.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of that. I didn't really even like TV until like, I don't know, maybe late teens, early 20s. I didn't watch TV. I was outside. And I think now I'm neurotic as it is. If I had to deal with people on the internet telling me what I was doing was wrong, no.
It is a weird twist. It's a weird twist. It is. And it infiltrates anything. And
it does.
Coming full circle, that's why I'm so happy for a group that's so friendly.
I know.
Because there's so many anonymous jerks out there.
Have you seen some of these groups that these people come on and are just brutal?
Yep.
You don't have any of that. You have none of that in this group.
We really don't. We have quite a few admins who are super vigilant.
Yep.
And I think we set the tone long ago that is not acceptable.
Right.
And people coming into the group as new people seem like it's a weird dynamic, but they seem to come into the group and realize that is just not done. It's not like 3 strikes and you're out. It's like, if I see a post that gets my back up and I'm like, you are not doing well. Like you are not a well person.
Right.
I just will delete you and block you, and that is the end of the.
You don't
it
get
won't
a
be
second
like
chance.
it won't be like I misunderstood.
No.
You said something awful to somebody else. You are done.
Right.
Like you are done. There's 20,000 people in this group. We don't need that.
No.
Like,
could you imagine if one started, that would just be like the dominoes.
No, and it's like, yes, everyone has bad days, right? You're never in someone else's shoes and you know how they feel. But if you are incapable of being normal to other people with they show a rug and you say something like rotten or crazy, it's like that's probably not a good start. Right. If you're a new member, like that's not a good start. So we might reconsider, we might rescind.
Yes.
Because we don't need that.
I have never understood that if you don't like something in real life, you're not going to look at somebody and tell them, say that ugly thing to their face.
You don't have the nerve to do that in real life.
But you will do it from behind a screen.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you think it's less hurtful?
Yeah.
Just because you don't have the spine to say it to their face.
Yeah.
Do you think it's less hurtful when you say it online?
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the reasons, like, I love TikTok. It's bad. It's awful. I should be off of it. Time waste. But I know that I could also do videos on it. But I am absolutely terrified of the mean people because I don't do well with mean people. I just don't. I can be pretty brutal back.
It's more the sex people than the mean people. It's more like, check out my boobs on this link. It's more that.
Blocking them. That doesn't even fit.
It's like whack-a-mole. It's like whack-a-mole. It never ends.
It is. But I don't, and I think my brother-in-law has said, you want to do, YouTube. And I'm like, you know what? Everything is already out there.
No, it's not. Yeah. Not by you. Not by you.
True.
So it could be like you start doing a big, videos in a channel.
Right.
And like, you click with some people and they
Right.
don't click with me, and God knows why, and it doesn't matter, but that's just how life works.
Yeah, I may. Like, I have the perfect spot out here to do it.
You really do. It's just more, right? For people
Right.
who love rug making,
Right.
like you're saying, like you want to reach those
Yeah.
people, you want to be there for those people. It's just like, they might not like me. I might have said something stupid, or I said a bad word one day. Maybe they're not into me, but
We've done really well, by the way.
We have done very well, because this isn't how we normally talk.
No, it is not. It is not.
No, you were very
Mom,
good
I hope
tonight.
you're not watching. Sorry. So sorry.
No, we did very, very well.
Did.
Kathy, you logged on a while back. I didn't even have time to say happy night and thank you for tuning in, all that. Kathy says, my mom always said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
Well,
That's
so
so true. It's so true. And I don't know what's wrong with
Kathy
people.
can make a rug like that. I think Kathy should make that rug.
Kathy's a great primitive artist.
Really?
Yeah, she is an incredible primitive artist. She does so, I mean, she's always doing a wider cut, like an 8 or higher. And she always works in the dark colors, but she always introduces another color that's like an unexpected cool color.
Yeah.
That's a little more of a contemporary color.
Yeah.
And it shakes the whole thing up.
I've never tried anything above an 8, and I probably should.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun doing stuff that you
Just
rip.
different,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just something
As
different.
long as you're working in your loose backing, you're
Right.
good. Yeah.
That's very
'Cause
cool.
things
I have to go through. Every once in a while, I'll go through your page and look at people and see all of their great art.
Everyone
and
does
it's
such
amazing.
crazy different stuff.
I
Yeah,
know.
I know.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I don't look at it enough myself, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of variety.
I like the posts that say, I stepped out of the box, or I'm not sure how this is. Like, okay, now I'm looking. Now I'm really going to
Yeah.
look, because it's going to be something very cool.
Yeah.
I think people shortchange themselves.
Yeah.
And I wish I do it. I know I do, and I wish they would, and I would stop,
Yeah.
because usually, if a post starts out with, I've stepped out of the box, it's going to be really something really
It's
good.
always interesting because they're giving you some kind of hack or something new to think
Yes.
about.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, so out of the 1,000 people that are looking at it right now, maybe 900 know it, but the 100 that don't,
Exactly.
it's like, oh my God, it's like
Yeah.
Columbus, right?
Exactly.
Like, oh my God.
But
Right.
you've got people like us that did not take lessons, and so
Right.
this is how we are learning, still learning.
Yeah.
And I do believe that. I do believe that if you continue to learn, you're going to do well.
I agree too.
That's
If you
important.
continue learning and growing and working within the style that you like, right? Your
Right.
style.
Right.
And honoring, if you are a super technical person and you love those fine cuts and you're doing that
Yeah.
realism and, you're doing all those tricks with like monochromatic palettes and you're doing all that hard stuff, right?
Right.
And you love that, you're a technical person, right? And that's how you should work.
Right.
And if you're polar opposite, the kind of person who is higgledy-piggledy, primitive, you like loose stuff, you like loose lines, you like color substitutes.
That
you
naive,
like
the naive
folk.
art and stuff. I
Yep.
love that.
Me too. It's my
Love it.
favorite. Then you should do that, right?
Right.
And if you're a person who's right in the middle and you're like, I'm a kind of 50-50 of each,
Right.
then you should do both, right? But I don't feel
yeah.
like you should feel like you have to do something that you're not
Right.
hardwired to do just because you think that you're supposed to be versatile or you think you're supposed to be good at everything. Because nobody's good at everything. And if it's no fun to do, why are you spending your time on it?
Exactly.
Right?
Time
Just
is
do
way
another
too short.
awesome piece that
Yeah.
you're gonna love.
Right.
Time is way too short and you don't know how much you've got.
Exactly.
Right. So
No,
you better stick
I agree.
with rugs that you really love working on and colors that you really love working on.
Yep.
You gotta put your heart into each piece.
Oh, agreed. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we better log off.
I
'cause
know.
This is not going to eat itself, is it?
It is not.
No.
It is not. It is not.
Well, hey, it was such a nice night. It was such a nice night
I
spending time
know.
with you.
It was
I love being with you.
fun. I'm so glad you came over.
Me too. We didn't even take out the box
That's okay.
of magic.
The box of magic will be here for next time. I got to play around with it. I have to say that it is.
Give a preview of the box of
Oh my
magic.
God.
just show what it looks
So-
like. You ordered this on eBay. It's a crazy box of magic.
I did. So it's a lot of you've got your normal stuff, right? You've got your
Shuttle.
this is your little, your punch, right?
Yep.
Everybody's seen
Bip,
these
bip, bip, bip.
before.
Mhm.
They work really well, by the
Mhm.
way.
They do.
I think one of their nicknames is walkers.
They walk right across,
walk.
but they make a giant hole, so you be
They
prepared
do.
for that. Right?
You
You're gonna be
cannot
surprised.
rehook it. You
Mhm.
cannot. So use a scrap piece if you try
Better be
it.
good the first time.
But what was in here was, first of all, it was called the Texing, Texing needle for rug making. So I'm just going to put that up there. Okay.
The texting needle for
Right.
making.
And so I was like, that's kind of strange. And let's look in here and see what it is. And it's these, it looks like cross stitch, honestly.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
It looks kind of like
It
your
looks just like
cross stitch
Yeah.
thing.
It's a graph.
And I thought, oh, that's kind of cute. There was nothing in here, but there was this needle.
With a cork on it.
Yeah, because it's very sharp. I already
feel
got
it?
my, yeah, go ahead. It's super sharp.
Holy mackerel.
So you've got this needle, and I'm going to come up a
It's
little
like a
bit
Bakelite
closer.
handle on that thing.
I think it is, because it's from 1946. So tell me if I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. It's a little out of focus, but you can see it is.
It's bent, and it's got the eye in it, right?
It's a little bit bent. It has
super
an
sharp.
eye. Yep.
So what these rugs are, because I hit the internetarchives.com, it's a type of shirring.
Okay.
And what this is that you are going to have the cotton thread
Like twine
through
or
here,
yarn?
like a twine.
Okay.
And then when you do your wool, right, so that it's like this, right, it's shirred. Let me just find a...
No, that thing has a spring on it to boot.
The spring
like
doesn't
that
move.
also has a spring on it.
Doesn't move. It doesn't move.
Oh, the spring doesn't move?
Nope, I tried it. I was trying to figure out. So when you're doing shirring, and I think everybody, a lot of people here will know. I'm just going to make this first.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got it very
more.
much
There you go.
like crap. So
There
it's
you
kind
go.
of like loops.
Yeah, you do like the hungry caterpillar.
Yes, and you do this, and so this, with that twine through it, you poke it through here, and you pull it through, so that it's going to hold this like this.
Like
then you can tie it, or not tie it, but you can sew it down, and it'll be
And
shirred.
how do you think you then attach it to the surface?
You sew it, is my understanding.
With a needle and thread.
Correct. That's what I understand so far. There is a newer instrument called a charrette needle.
Charrette. That's
I have
totally
that.
different because that's a standing wool variety.
And that's what this is. Similar thing.
Oh, so this doesn't need a backing fabric.
Correct. No, you don't have to have a backing fabric, but you can sew it down. If you look this up, and I'll send you a link.
Stop it.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay.
I know. It's crazy.
So this is like charrette, and charrette.
Correct.
It used to be called something before charrette. Right. The family who does it now is in Connecticut.
Yes.
And they are lovely, but they basically
It's like
invented
a weird
tool that already
crochet.
existed.
I have it. Yeah.
Right. It has a bend in it that they patented. But
Correct.
before then, the thing had existed for 150 years.
Shirring.
Shirring. It was called before charrette.
I don't know. I know that I repaired a rug about 2 months ago that the person had done shirring. Smocking?
Pliche? No, pliche. I think it was called pliche.
Oh, really?
I think that was the forerunner to charrette.
Okay,
Charrette is shearing and crochet.
Right.
Pliche was pleating, which is what you just did with the caterpillar.
Right.
And crochet.
And I think I don't know if this has any crochet to it. I just know that it's just running that through.
It is damn sharp.
I know. I've already put a hole in my finger with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's really something. What a beautiful tool, though. That really looks
Isn't
like
it?
Bakelite. Yeah.
I didn't realize that was part of this.
You're right. This thing doesn't have any give at all.
It's super strong.
It's like a stopper.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
So I'm going to play with it.
I guess the idea is that you layer it on in folds and pleat it as neatly as possible, like a little accordion. And then it stops it right here.
Pull it through, I think. I've got to look at it again.
It's tricky. This is a tricky thing because this looks like a very three-dimensional, the advertisement for it, it's hard to see, I know, it's small, looks like it looks like a latch hook.
Yes. Because when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's strange. And then when I started looking this up, I went, oh, this is that.
The texing needle, and it's made by Graph Tex Needle Craft. So they're obviously trying to repeat, right, but they're trying to use the word tex as like a brand, right, a trademark. Correct. So Graph Tex makes the texing needle.
Right.
I have never heard of this.
I haven't either. So there's also, and I don't think this needle is in here, I think this is actually a punch needle, the French knot embroidery book.
Okay.
I haven't looked through it yet. But this one is interesting as well. So this is why I should stay off.
So is that like candle wicking?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Because a French knot is a French knot, right?
Yes.
It's not,
I think
it's
this
not a
is
hoop,
more.
And it can't be done with a hook.
Because if you look at the.
Oh, they're doing it with a punch needle.
But they're calling it a French knot needle.
They're making a French knot with a punch needle.
So this one I have to look at more.
That's crazy. Can I see that again?
Absolutely.
That's absolutely like cuckoo.
But if you look at, so for example,
it's a punch. Okay, I know.
It's a punch needle. Do you have that one?
No.
But that is a punch. Yeah,
Can you
that's a
tell me
punch
if that's
needle.
in focus over there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is the metal needle. Here are
Yep.
some needles here. You can see it's a punch
Yep.
needle.
And what's funny?
Oh, they're actually decorating their garments.
They are. If you look in there, I want you to see the picture. Show the picture of the woman inside that because it's a little bit hilarious.
Okay, she's dressed.
Yeah, she is.
All right, see, this
She's
is
way
all.
dressed.
She's way dressed. This is all needle stuff. They're working with a metal hoop. They're doing embroidery stitches, like daisy stitches. And
But you can, bless you. But you can do that with those.
Oh wow, she's got a lot going on.
She does, but look at her garment.
Yeah, this is a 1920s era garment.
Right.
Without a doubt, this is a proper shift.
Right.
Man, she's got the hat going and everything. She's punching right into what looks like a very gossamer fabric.
But show this.
Let me show that.
This might be the same. I've had this for a while.
Oh, and they're giving motifs to do.
Yep.
So these are embroidery stitches, but they're doing them with a punch needle. You know what's funny is
But the punch needle has this turny thing.
Yep.
I think this is one of those.
Yep.
And I've had that for a while.
So this punch, can you tell me if I'm in focus?
Yep.
This punch needle has a turning thing, right, for height differences.
Yes.
So when we talk about the Oxford punch being certain different heights, right? Different
you can
heights.
do them with these.
With these, you didn't need that. You just adjusted with the circles what height you wanted it, and you locked it in at that height. And there are needles that do this now, but you can see this is the kind of gauge of a mini punch or a Russian punch needle.
Or these.
Right? This isn't going to do sock yarn.
Like this one has it where you pull it out and you can move it up and down.
Oh,
that's for your. Right. That one is for your.
Yep. So this is a nice
thicker
one, but this is a bulky yarn.
Yes.
Only.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you don't use bulky yarn and you use a tip like this, you're gonna punch like it's like a cannonball went through your backing.
Right.
And then if you've got some dinky little wimpy sock yarn, it's not going to stay, and it's going to be a giant hole. Yeah. So make sure that if you're punching with this kind of a needle with this giant hole, that you are prepared with your bulky yarn to follow through.
At least 4 ply, if not wider.
I mean, look at the difference between those needles. That's like nutty. And what does this say on top? Something
Hubble,
Hubbard?
I think, from Joplin, Missouri.
W.E. Hubble Company.
I don't even know how.
Joplin, Missouri. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Gosh, that's so cool.
I get these. That's why you got to stay away from eBay.
This is the best find I've seen in a long time because this is a pattern book with super Art Deco designs, stuff like this, circusy stuff, teapots.
And look at the back.
Oh, stop it!
I know.
Okay, so these are all of their books. You know, some of these I have seen, like the fillet lace, the crochet stuff.
Yeah.
Doing brassieres and tatted stuff.
I just think that people need to realize this has been going on for quite a number of years, and
it has. We keep holding different tools,
but we need to keep it. I think we need to keep it going. That's all.
It's good to hold. This isn't going to sound right, but it's good to hold a tool in your hand.
Okay.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like whether it's a needle or a punch or whatever.
With artificial silk products.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's like DMC.
Yeah.
It's called texto rope. They're determined to use the word text.
They are. They are because textile. That's what they want to. That's what they want to. They want to lead you down
everything
that path.
text. Yeah. Yeah, they want everything text. Moultrie Reinhard Company, Chicago, Illinois, Monroe Street.
But I like using these old tools. I mean, look at this green. Come on,
oh my
jadeite,
God.
right? Yeah, isn't she cute?
Oh, now that's a smart. How do you thread this?
I think you go there and then through.
Let me show you this.
Yeah,
this is fair. This was an amazing haul. You need to stay on eBay. I don't find this stuff.
That might need to stay off eBay.
Beautiful little wooden handle. It doesn't look like anyone's ever used any of these.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So this is a punch needle. This is a normal size. This would be like a fine, right? Yeah. Not a regular, but a fine. And I just said, how do you thread it? You thread it through here.
Yep.
Right. So it's going to come in like an IV into the top of it. It's going to come through the channel, and it's going to pop out like a spouting whale out the top. And this is going to punch, I bet you, as good as anything. Right?
It does. Well, that
Oxford, eat your
the
heart
Minerva, out. The Minerva, and then I have to say, I have to show you one that I used yesterday. And I think this is a Boye, B-O-Y-E.
Yeah, those are always good.
That friggin' thing.
Yeah, these
punched
it's
so
just
well.
So large, but it does punch like a dream. You know, if I were going to punch with something like this, right, this side, this is beyond irregular. Like this is beyond. Yeah. And again, I mean, this whole needle would fit through the whole of that. I mean, this is an enormous hole. Same way of threading it, right? You're holding it here, right, like a bobbin, and then you're putting it here, holding it here. It's coming out here and then spouting out like a whale on top. So same thing with the channel.
This is very good. It's very sharp, sleek. I bet the metal is high quality, which is why people want Oxfords, right? Because I mean, they're about to be manufactured in India, but at the moment the metal is very, very good. It's a to be continued, but it really depends on what the metal is and what the tip does.
That one. I used it yesterday just to play around with it, and it was amazingly smooth. It's very long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
so
it is long.
It was a little bit uncomfortable. I'm used to being able just to do this, right? Do this particular action. So I was actually lifting my whole arm. But that's fine.
And there's no way you can make this go high. Okay, so this is the height.
But
so it's a high pile.
You can make them lower. All you have to do is get, you know, those things that you put on
Washers.
Little kids. Well, but you know the little kids' crayons, pencils to make them fatter.
Yeah, the eraser things.
Just cut those and then put them on.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I never thought of that because I do the washers with punch needles because they're so small.
Yes.
But you're right. An
and if
eraser
you can't find a washer that's small,
or the
eraser,
grip. It's the grip, not the eraser.
Yeah.
Right. That's a great idea to put it on there just to change the height because if you're punching it, it's always going to go to this height every time.
Correct.
Right, so it'll be about half of that, but it's still a very high pile.
It is.
But if you put the grip on,
yeah,
you'd have to put the grip on after you threaded it, right? Because otherwise that would mess with the threading.
Yeah, I would think so.
And then, but it would do a little bit lower, and then you'd have like, you know, more like I don't know, number 10 or 12 if you're talking about Oxford.
Yeah, I would think so.
That's really smart. I think that's really smart. If I were to punch with something this thick, I would definitely want to do it in rug warp. I would be scared to do this in linen, right? Or monk's cloth. I tried mine
on monk's cloth, and it's basically a one and done.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're used to when we're hooking or punching with regular that you can take it out and redo it a couple times.
Well, there's no stretch in monk's cloth.
There's a one and done with that.
Yeah.
But to experiment and to try it, and honestly, the reason I like to show these is because these can be so inexpensive. You can get a Minerva with all 3 points for $10 or less. Tag sales, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, you know, anywhere like that. If you want to try rug hooking, I do love the Oxford punch. I'm not a rug puncher by any stretch of the imagination. I haven't done it a lot, but honestly, to try it, like I did for 2 years with a crochet hook. To try it, if you can find something that's more inexpensive than the $38 or $42 at Oxford.
I stock a punch that's excellent.
Oh, I forget about those.
I only stock the hacienda. Not the I don't stock the lake. They're too fiddly. I think they're too fiddly. Yes. The height differences are too fiddly. Yes. I stock the ones from Brazil.
Oh.
But I only stock the smaller size because I don't feel like the equivalent to the regular. I'm not comparing them to Oxford, right? Because the punch needle's a Victorian instrument, so it's not like Oxford invented, right, the punch needle. But they do come in different sizes, and this company in Brazil does many sizes, but I only stock the finest because it's less expensive, right? The metal's less expensive. That's why I'm able to sell them for $15 instead of $40-something.
Correct.
So the metal's great, and I use them only, but I only stock the smaller size because with the larger one, I feel the metal isn't sharp enough, like you were describing the tip of that, to punch through stuff cleanly every time.
Right.
So I don't stock those because the fine ones I feel 1,000% confident about. The larger ones, not confident.
Well, I think maybe the metal might be a little thinner too.
Yeah, it feels like it gets dull fast.
Right.
And then what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to sharpen a $15 tool. You're going to look for a sharpener.
But honestly, if you want to try these, and these are fun too. These again are walkers, and the reason that they're called walkers is this particular thing that comes up. Right, you've got your needle, and you've got this thing. This actually gives you the hole for your needle to go in to deposit it, and then when you go back again, it walks it forward.
Yeah.
So you're able to be pretty consistent on your you know, the spacing in between. I struggle when I turn it, right? When I turn it and come back up.
It's very hard to turn it.
This is a muscle memory. I need to practice with this sort of thing.
If you've got a geometric or a background to fill,
correct.
That's your tool.
Yep.
It goes, so it walks for you, right? It's like a robot that walks for you. But you want to do something with detail, or you want to turn a corner, there's a learning curve.
But now this one's fun. The Danella, this is not really.
That is a super desirable item. Yeah, that's the egg beater.
I struggle with this.
It's a hard one to use.
I struggle with this.
I don't like it.
I'm not digging it, and I still can't because the instructions are garbage. Yeah. I'm sorry, Danelle. But it said to make them higher or lower, use this certain screw. There's 4 screws on this thing. It could be.
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out which one it is.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, this one also walks. It also has that extra, I don't know if you can see it, but that extra piece that makes the hole for your needle to go in and deposit the yarn.
So it's two tips that agitate.
So, but they are inexpensive typically.
The Danellas are super expensive.
These,
but
yes,
all the
I'm
others
sorry,
are,
these are.
Yes. That one is crazy because people are selling those for $200 each on eBay, and those are absolutely.
Are they? Maybe
oh God.
I'll sell mine.
Yeah, it's if you're not liking it, it's like it's going to be a $200.
It's sat in that drawer for a while, so yeah. But
I have one too, and I have one in my box right here. I don't like it either.
You've got the shuttle ones as well.
Yeah, I've got all the shuttles, and I've got that. This is the Danella, I think. Right?
Oh yeah, that's it.
I don't like this either. It reminds me of a can opener.
Yes.
Right. But yes. I mean, something makes me nervous with this because I'm not. I have a great history of getting hurt with like stuff,
no.
and there's so many moving parts.
On you,
I'm scared I'm gonna get my finger or my hair in there, and it's like it looks pretty unforgiving. The mechanism, it's very fluid, but it makes me nervous.
Yeah,
It does have a nice fine tip. That's one thing I can say.
It does, but it doesn't. I think what I find with those and the shuttles is that it's blocking your view of your backing.
It is completely blocking your view.
You can't see where the next one is going.
You have to trust that it's walking in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, am I exercising my boobs like crazy? Because it's like, it's these muscles right here that's like, and suddenly you feel like super sore. I mean, it's
but you're
athletic.
also seeing that you have like 3 rows in between the 2 that's empty.
Yeah.
Because you can't see where you're going. So I don't know. I find it interesting. People made rugs with those.
I think that when Amy Oxford came along with these like Vermont, I made them on the kitchen table rugs, hooks, and it was like, okay, this is a tool. It's still punching. It's not the walking tool.
Right.
But you can actually see where the next hole is if you're using the tool.
Huge.
That was a game changer, I think. Yep. And that prototype, of course, existed. But this was faster, and the fashion for Art Deco rugs was very graphic.
Right.
So people were like, I'll take that and make 3 rugs a day. And there was a long gap when people didn't want to do detail using a punch.
Right.
So they were going to the needle.
They just wanted to make money.
Yeah.
They wanted to make, because this was during, the Depression.
Yeah.
And they were, you look at, Amy Oxford did a talk, and I actually ran across it last night with Green Mountain. And she went through the whole process of how, you ought to see all the different punches that she has. It's amazing. But she brought up McAdoo, and I find her patterns still amazing.
I think they're amazing patterns too. I love her red clover stuff too.
Yes, yeah.
It's a moment in time. The patterns are often familiar because we've seen them before.
Right.
There's something so sort of evocative and nostalgic. It just brings you back to another place. It's so appealing looking at those designs.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I do. I hadn't realized how many. I didn't realize they were McAdoo, right? But I've seen that. I've seen that one. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But her talk is pretty good. I really enjoyed her talk.
Yeah.
And this was from like 2009.
Things are we want to talk about this, right? Because it's a touchy subject. But things are changing quick over there, so I have to see how things go.
I know. It'll be interesting.
I am reserving judgment, and I'm very worried for my buddies who have businesses with yarn right now.
The only thing I've seen is that she has sold the company.
Yeah.
But I understand that there's also other things going around that don't sound great.
I'm particularly worried about people who were certified and bought. What they bought was the name Oxford. Right, they didn't buy the ability to learn how to punch, right? They bought the name Oxford. And now it's not the same product, right? Because now the product is moving to India.
Is it?
It's moving to India.
I know that the people
that
bought
Violet
it.
Chain yarn and the needle will be manufactured in India. Nothing against India, but they're both manufactured there, not on a kitchen table in Vermont anymore.
So wait, the yarn?
It's controversial.
What yarn does she
Violet
use?
Chain.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I'm not
So there might be a happy ending, because I'm not Oxford certified. I certainly don't know. But I am a little bit worried about people who invested in the name Oxford, because I don't feel it's the same product that they bought. That's the part that I'm worried about. The continuity of the brand. And all. I better not say this. This is very controversial. I promised myself I would not be talking about this on camera, and here we are. No, I didn't. I did, because we were fooling around with the punches.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about my buddies. I have a lot of buddies who are certified. I'm worried about their yarn businesses and the tools and all of the stuff that not just my closest buddies who you're thinking of, but I have a lot of buddies who have been certified, and they have businesses that they've built around this name.
I think the biggest thing, and I'm just saying, not knowing any of this, the biggest thing is going to be the tools, because they can say, I was Amy Oxford certified. Yeah. There can be a date, there can be a cutoff. So, for example, if you and I went and
people are still getting certified.
Oh, I know, but they're still getting certified in Vermont, is my understanding.
Absolutely, Kaz is going this year to get certified.
Is she?
Yeah, but she wants to teach. Like, you know, if you, it depends on what you're doing, right? Like Kaz sorry Kaz, I'm putting you on the spot, but she wants to teach like at the library and locally, and she just wants to know how to do it really well. So that's perfect. That's the perfect reason to go. I'm worried about my buddies who went and then invested in tens of thousands of dollars worth of supplies.
Yep.
And now they have to compete with stuff that's made in India. That's what worries me. I love Amy. I love what she built, but I am worried about the future of the business, and I am worried about people who have a financial stake in it because they've quit their jobs and built businesses. I am worried about that.
So then I wonder if there's going to be something to fill in that gap if it ends up being that the tools are not to par.
To be continued.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason to think that they're not going to be the same high quality that they've always been. They'll be less expensive.
Will they really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I do know that if you go on eBay now, because I actually ended up with a Amy Oxford fine.
Yeah.
I got off eBay and they were selling it for, I'm not kidding you, $15 in the box.
Okay.
I
That's
grabbed
a great
it.
price.
That's why I grabbed it.
That's like a third of the price.
I know. They're all starting at 55 and up. So my feeling is that particular tidal wave is rolling through the resale community now, because I'm seeing them now for 85, 95, 100.
I think that's because of the news, right? They will be packaged differently. They will be manufactured differently.
I think you're right.
Don't have the same romance and lore that they did before. Yeah. But without being negative, often you see change happening, and sometimes you think this is never going to work. This is anti-logical. This is a negative. This is a turn in the wrong direction, hairpin. And sometimes things work out great.
Right.
So for me, it's a huge to be continued. Let's see what happens next.
It'll be interesting.
It will be interesting.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Not in a ghoulish way. I hope everybody continues to make money and grow their businesses. And I hope people who are here in the U.S. who, signed up for the certification and are teachers and have businesses with an investment in place, I hope that they're able to continue teaching and making money and growing, right? Not just existing and treading water, but growing. And I think for me, I don't want to be negative, but I want to see that that's happening.
Right. Well, because I think we've been blindsided too many times by too many things, and I'm curious to see if that will stay.
Yeah. It's nice to see the mainstays of the craft, whether you're punching or hooking or what tool you're holding in your hand. It's nice to see the mainstays maintain integrity, quality, and I think for us in traditional crafts like rug making, we don't necessarily like it when things change.
I think it's difficult.
The tradition of it.
Yeah. I think it's difficult, and I think that's why tufting got such a bad rap by a lot. And I will admit, I had my doubts. I'm like, what is this? This is like fast fashion. This is all of this stuff.
Exactly. It's more throwaway.
Right. Garbage. And it's like, okay, we're gonna wait a minute, because people are creating this. They're creating their own patterns. They're using decent yarns. They're using they're putting the time in.
It's a high pile rug.
Slow your roll. Yeah. Is what I talk to myself a lot. But it was
not
kind
everybody's
of
making Pokemon characters.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was more of like, okay, we're gonna slow our roll here and just see what happens. And I like what's coming out, even if it is Pokemon. I like what's coming out. Yeah, because I think that it's keeping rug making as a whole. In the
accessibility.
Right. But like in the focus of everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, and people are looking at stuff and going, okay, well, if that person can make that, I might be able to make that too.
Right.
That's what you want, is for people to go, to have the confidence to say, I saw this being made on Pinterest or YouTube or TikTok, and it gave me the idea that if that person could do it and they're like 14, I can also do it.
Right? I had a couple come by my booth at the New England Fiber Festival, and they wanted to make something. They were getting married. They wanted to make something together for their home. They wanted to do a rug. It would be really cool. And we're looking, and the husband's like, we'll never finish this. When I was showing them, how I hook and everything, they want like a big rug. They wanted to do like 7 by 9.
Oh, that's a room-sized drum.
Yeah, they want it. Yeah. They want something. And I said, so I'm going to suggest something, and you'll never believe if anybody tell anybody's coming. I said, but I said you can go to tufting classes, and I think that would be something great for you guys to do.
Absolutely.
I said it's like a sip and paint, but you've got a great big frame, and you get to draw out your pattern, and you have this fun thing with a gun, and and I should pull it on my phone. And it sounded like they were going to do it, and I was excited because it was basically they were doing what they wanted. He's right; they were never going to finish.
They were never going to rug hook.
Correct.
Right. But so they might as well do something similar.
Right. And they got to do something. I said, you pick all your own colors. Yeah. I said, you do everything you can do here. But
you decide if you want it piled or looped. Right. You can still have it looped.
Exactly. I said, you can do a whole lot of stuff, and you may have to come back in a week.
Yeah.
I said, but you might also be able to leave that day with your rug. I said, I think it's a week though, because they've got to latex the back and do whatever it is to the binding.
Yeah, just different construction.
Right.
But still a great craft with your hands.
Yeah, they wanted to do something together, so I hope they did it.
I hope they did it too.
They took my card, and I never heard anything back. I never heard anything back.
Well, maybe they'll be making videos on rug tufting.
Maybe. I'll be looking like, I knew you would. That's so funny.
Well, you know what? If they did, more power to them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kaz, you're so sweet. All right, thank you all. Good show. We ran an hour late.
I know.
So sorry. So sorry. There's still buddies logged on. So good to spend the Friday evening. We are super late. We better go to sleep.
I know. Right, I know. Right.
It was great being with you.
Yes,
I love being with you.
I'm so happy you were here.
Super fun show.
Thank you, everybody.
Naomi, thank you so much. Ravensgate Primitives, Etsy store, Ravensgate Primitives.
And I'll be posting information on the hook in onto Deanna's site tomorrow. I've gotten permission. So if you're interested, please, I'm only at about like 15 people now, so I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah. Be good to build it up a little bit, right? To show up. And this
absolutely.
Give the date again?
September 21st.
Okay.
So it's a Saturday. 21st. It starts at 10. And it's going to be fun and food and just chatting and shopping and, whatever you'd like.
It sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm certainly going to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone else who comes there. I'm looking forward to seeing you, and I think the idea of building a hooking community and a crafting community in this area,
I think it's important.
Super important.
I think it's important.
Yeah, it's a bit of a blackout spot.
Yeah. So give me a hand.
That's it. That's it. So you can get in touch with both of us over the weekend. Hey, everybody, happy weekend.
Have a good weekend.
It was great spending some time together. I hope you got a lot of your project done. 3 hours. That's a lot of project time, isn't it? We got none done. But it was super fun talking and relating and all that stuff. And hey, I will see you all. It is the weekend. So I will see you on Monday for the show at 11 o'clock. Remember, summer hours, 11 o'clock instead of 12 Eastern Standard Time. I will be with you on Monday. If you need me in the meantime, you want to talk about doing a project for the Haunted Rug Book, ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com. If you want to talk about doing an article or submitting some gallery pieces for the upcoming Magpie Times, those are all shipped, by the way. If you haven't received it, they are all on the way. International and national, right? All gone. If you're thinking about doing something for the upcoming issue, the fall issue, the theme is the country fair. I'm looking specifically for weavers, spinners, different everything, but different aspects of wool, right?
Cool.
Different like generations of wool. So if you have any ideas for that, same thing, ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com. Happy weekend, everybody. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. And I will see you on Monday. We will see you soon.
Absolutely.